handful of presenters, a massive microphones, and a whole load of talk. This is TigerTails Radio.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to Season 8, Episode 10 of TigerTails Radio. I'm your host, and in the studio tonight we have a Xavier.
Hello.
We have an Angel Dark Song.
Hello.
And we have a Fearless.
Oh my god, I've been lo-fi.
Yeah.
All of the lo-fis.
You are Mr. Standard Definition Tonight. And I am once again a disembodied voice. The way it should be.
He likes being disembodied.
I do. I like being a strange voice that nobody can see.
Or dat-embodied.
Ooh, I see where you're going with that. And yes, welcome to another exciting, entertaining, and otherwise enjoyable episode of TigerTails Radio.
TigerTails!
Yay! We're back. We've got a full studio. It's bank holiday weekend, so Pete's back in the studio.
Yeah, I come down for bank holiday weekends because, you know, friends, and I like to see people. So what do? We stay in during bank holiday Monday to watch YouTube and play video games.
Yep. Because quite frankly, fuck going outside when it's raining.
Oh, Jesus God, yes.
The outside
Bloody
world,
hell.
it can go and suck a fucking die. For all I care.
Fuck a suck.
It can suck a fucking die. It can go, hello, fuck, and then die. Just like that. Yeah.
Yeah, today is a bank holiday Monday, so it rained.
It did. Because, you know, bank holidays, they do that.
It's a dick.
Yeah. But we are back. Has anybody advertised? Probably not.
I have advertised.
Okay.
I'll
So
go through
advertising
and
has been
correct the
done.
spelling in a minute.
Oh, Fearless.
Yeah. Yay.
Yay!
Yeah, the energy is not quite there, really, is it?
Can we go to sleep now?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yay. I like sleep. Sleep is nice.
Sleep is indeed nice.
We haven't had much sleep because I've been up late watching the European elections and all that jazz, and Pete's been trying to sleep, has had to put up with us. And we had a Celebrator 3 in the studio on Saturday, so that was good fun. And much alcohol was consumed. And many old video games were played. Because fuck yeah, retro 16-bit Mega Drive games. That's all what we're after. And that'll be appearing on the TigerTails Gaming channel at some point, which you can find at youtube.com/TigerTails Gaming. How's that?
Yes.
And until then, I think it's that time where we reviewed our week.
We're very quickly going into the review of the week, aren't we?
Yeah, well, we haven't broken anything yet, and things seem to be of a half-decent audio quality today, so fuck it. Let's go and review the week. So,
Excellent.
Mr. Xavier Wolf, how has your week been?
My week has mostly been filled with work, strangely enough. It's been May, hasn't it? It's been some interesting weather, which has bounced around a lot,
Yep.
which was annoying. So it's a case of walk in, expecting it to be rainy. It then is sunny during the day. Hey! So I'm in my jumper and top thinking, yeah, it's going to be cold and wet. No.
No, behave.
Then on the way back, it's a case of, now I'm just going to walk home in the jumper and top. Fuck you. I've managed to catch up with a few little things on telly. I've picked up season 7 of Supernatural because, yeah, Supernatural. What else has been going on? Oh, yes, I purchased a new laptop and had an interesting experience with trying to get said new laptop.
What was that interesting experience?
Well, I paid for it online via my card, and I used Click and Save via Lloyd's. Woohoo! And it apparently didn't validate, and I got a message saying, oh, by the way, your order didn't validate. And I wasn't too fussed, because I'd ordered it for the 31st, because I was ordering it on a day when there was no stock. So I was thinking, okay, well, it's a couple of weeks away, not too fast. Emailed Novatech, and Novatech's rep then went, oh, blah, 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 click this link. They emailed me directly first off, but I thought, I'll email Novatech first off, just in case this is a random fisher. And they effectively said the same thing. So I did the link, it went, bing, it's all validated now. And I went, why didn't you do that the first time? And I just sat there waiting for the order to kick into high gear, eventually, because I thought, 31st, that's when it's going to be delivered. So on Friday, I was checking my emails.
As you do.
And checking the internet thing at work, and it said, order dispatched. And I went, what? So,
Wait, what?
order dispatched. Okay. TK, it may turn up on Saturday, just to let you know. And then on Saturday morning, I checked my emails, and it was a case of, it's being delivered. Okay, 9 o'clock, TK. It's going to turn up. You may want to be awake. TK did not like that.
TK doesn't like being awake on Saturdays.
Although I had the amusement of TK going, "Oh, it's for me. It's got my name on it." Oh, this case of no, TK,
It's like you
no.
bought me a laptop. That's so nice. I could tell it's mine. You put my name on the delivery thing, so it must be for me, right?
I was going with the logic of I put your name on there, at least then you can sign for it.
I don't care whose name's on it, as long as somebody signs for it, so they've got something for their stupid audit trails.
So they can go, yep, well, we gave it to somebody who signed for it. That's all that matters to us.
Well, I'm not going to send it to mine because at the moment I can't guarantee if anyone's going to be in at my house where I live at the moment to actually sign for it anyway. I was lucky, I think, that the BT people read my instruction of leave it in the foyer to mean leave it in the little cupboard in the foyer. So I got all my internet equipment. But the laptop turned out that it was nice. I also got my upgrade on my phone. So this weekend has been a busy high-tech... Last weekend, yeah, this is gone. A busy high-tech experience of trying to catch up with all the high-techness. Which is great, because it's a case of, right, I need to update my phone. You now need to update your phone again. You now need to update your phone again. You also need to do this update. Fuck you.
Oh, and by the way, all of these billions of apps, they need to update now. Have fun with that.
Yeah. But I like the fact that Google just went, hey, all these apps that you like using, we're just going to install them on your new phone now. It's like, woohoo!
Have fun with that.
Loved it. So yeah, I've got new tech to play with, and it's good because I now have a laptop that can play all my games, and it's better than my PC. So, yay! So it means probably in the next 8 months I'll probably hit up Novatech and go, by the way, can you give me a PC? Here's
Please.
cash.
Yeah. I has money, can I has computer? And
Pretty
they'll
much.
go, yes.
Pretty much, because I've realised even with the laptop I still have money, and I'm sat there thinking, this doesn't normally happen. I don't
Money.
normally have money.
Money, Pete. Remember that thing?
Yeah, I vaguely remember that thing, but apparently I've got it now, so it's like, what the hell?
That random concept.
Yeah, Friday I spent having a lovely meal with my lady friend, and it's 3 months for us, so...
Are we not actually going to get a name at all?
You will eventually, I just want to...
Steve.
I thought Bob
No.
would be a more...
There is a
appropriate name.
reason why I don't want to jinx it, there is a reason why I'm not giving in as much details, and that will probably come out
No.
eventually.
You're not giving any details.
Yeah, that's right. So I had a lovely Friday evening and Saturday, which was very nice. And then I came down here, and TK went, oh, here's the package for you. I went, woohoo, laptop, way update. And do stuff, and install all the software I need. And TK went, oh, by the way, the local elections are being on tomorrow, so we're just going to watch that crap as well. All the Sunday elections, everything was on over this weekend.
Yeah. Because we've had the local elections and the European elections.
Yes.
Yep.
Woohoo!
Both of which were hilarious to watch the updates for. But aside from that, this weekend's been not too bad. I've got this Monday off because it's bank holiday, and then I'll be back in doing the extra overtime and week works until July when I have my week off holiday.
Yep.
And then 22nd, I'll be down here for the Blarg birthday party show,
Yay!
which is what we have to promote. We will be 11? 10?
10.
10. We'll be 10, July 21st. Well, that's
Yeah.
the show.
Well, July 20th, yeah.
July 20th will be 10. The show is on to the 21st, so I'll be doing a bit of up-down training, probably.
Happy birthday to us.
Yep.
So soon.
Well, that's pretty much it for my week. It's not been too bad. Work has been good. Weather has been all over the place. Lovely weekend. Came down here and met all these lovely people. Oh, yes, and met Big Alex as well, because he came down for the weekend.
Indeed, he did.
Yes.
He was like, yeah, pop down, Whistle Stop Tours Southampton,
play some Minecraft.
play some Minecraft,
Buggers off.
and then we play more Minecraft on Sunday.
Yay. All good fun. But anyway, Fearless,
Yeah.
seeing as you're about to fall asleep there,
No, I was busy checking other things.
jolly good. How has your week been?
My week's been good. Been slowly running out of tobacco and monies again. Mostly because of fucked up payments on the pants of ATOS. Should be paid again this Wednesday.
You hope.
Maybe. Hopefully, well, I hope so. My tobacco's got to last until then. And the girlfriend's been having to steal some tobacco even though she hates hand-rolled cigarettes.
Mm.
Because we need the nicotines. It's our precious.
They can't live without it.
Oh, I can. I'd just rather not. It could be one of the key things to my seeming invulnerability.
Yes. Notice the agreement there. Yeah.
That's the case I've just like, he has only been getting better since he kept smoking, so. Apart from that, it's been mostly trying out a few new games. I finally got given a copy of State of Decay,
Hey.
which is great. It's a lot like playing DayZ, except without a whole bunch of bastards.
Remind me,
Yay.
State of Decay?
The third-person zombie survival game.
That doesn't narrow it down?
The offline one.
Oh, right, okay.
So I'm just reading Alex's phone.
Who could have eaten ice cream at my house?
I wonder. State of Decay is basically where you start off as a couple of accountant clerks who've just come back from a camping trip and suddenly find out that people are trying to eat them. And from there, it's your goal to try to survive, keep your little enclave going by finding more and more food, building materials, finding bigger places, building more beds before people run away and get nommed on.
Sounds about right. So much so Project Zomboid.
Yeah, except it has character permadeath. So the one character you've been running around with, trying to get everything together, and suddenly they're dead, and also their best weapons that were with them. So it's kind of a bit like DayZ, where you're suddenly rushing trying to find your old dead body when you respawn.
Where did I die? Where did I die?
Except you also have to have enough people who are friendly towards your character. And influence is in fact the currency. Hey, I found a new weapon, I'm going to put it in the storage for everybody, you've gained influence. I'm going to take this weapon out, that's going to cost you some influence with other people. I want other people to come and pick up all the supplies from here. Oh, that's going to cost you a bit more influence amongst us, you know.
There are reasons why I don't play these kind of games.
There is a sandbox-ish version of the game where basically you go to the same town over and over again, but each time you ramp up the difficulty when you leave the town and come back to the same town. It says we've got to move on to another town because all the zombies are too much here, but you basically come back to the same town. It's kind of like a weird Twilight Zone episode where it never, ever ends.
Like, say, Bob, I've seen you 15 times already. When are we going to find a different town?
What I am looking forward to is what I was saying to Alex earlier. There's a new DLC coming out called Lifeline, in which you can play as the military during the outbreak. So instead of the standard zombie game of you start with nothing, you build your community, you eventually boost the confidence and the skills up to finally get through to the end. You're suddenly starting in a position of almost godlike destructive power, and then you slowly get more desperate and less resources as the time goes on until inevitably you die.
Inevitable death.
It is the inevitable thing for the zombie apocalypse story. Yes, there will be short-term successes, but inevitably everybody will die.
Yep. There can be only none.
So a nice cheery story then.
Yeah, I have restarted the game from a certain point because the character that I actually liked was the one I was playing with. Got ripped apart quite bloodily.
Oops.
Incredibly
And
bloodily.
that's why you don't have sex with strangers.
Okay, so speaking of sex with strangers, Alex, how's your week been?
Wow. I don't know how to respond to that. I could respond to that in many ways.
So good.
All of which will
the
get me
sex-
arrested.
The sex couldn't be any stranger if it tried, really.
It's been an okay week.
I think I did hear at one point release the quacking.
I now have to know. No.
Hodor!
Hold on. Fucking hell, Peter.
Can we safely assume that that's not what either of you two are shouting mid-coitus? No! No! No!
Fine, safely!
No! Oh, God.
I think we broke Pete. He's gone from...
There is shit you don't shout mid-coitus.
How's my driving? Cool, 1-800.
Carmen!
So, Alex,
Alex
how's your
gone!
week?
I was wearing my clothes. Okay.
No.
Week has been okay. Nothing really special has happened. I went to see X-Men film.
The Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Gone Beyond for Future's Fathers Past. Yeah.
Yeah, supposed to be the film of the triple book that he did, if I recall, the graphic run.
The one that basically retcons everything.
What, the film or the comic book?
Well, I imagine the comic book because every fucking X-Men story.
It was a
retcon.
sideline. It was a sideline. It was a what ifs kind of thing. What if they failed and here's the future? Pretty much.
Other things Alex is not allowed to say during sex anymore. You pulled me out of a raid for this.
Why?
I'm just thinking of fun things.
Thinking.
He's thinking, yeah. So aside from that, anything else during the week?
I did watch Dragon Ball Evolution Rift Tracks again. Now that we're talking about that sort of stuff.
Yeah, because you kind of sort of watched most of it back in my room.
Oh no! I saw all of it in your room.
Yeah.
Actually.
But we were also talking and ripping ourselves at the same time, so...
Scary thing
again,
is,
I had it on, but I wasn't paying attention.
that's the best way to watch it. Scary thing is, they actually had the movie on this week as well, on telly somewhere. I saw it and I thought, no.
But I don't know. I've been told work-wise, my contract's been extended. That's always a good thing.
Aye.
Very good thing.
For the end of the year, so I don't have to worry. I was looking for a new job, but now I don't have to worry about that. That's it. It's been a very sedated week.
Awesome. So TK,
Yes.
disembodied voice who's not on camera.
Disembodied voice.
How has your week been?
Yeah, week has been okay, actually. It was a pretty average week of work. Full week of work, which is very annoying because I like bank holiday weeks because you get one day less of work.
Yeah.
And not having to work is infinitely better than having to work unless you don't have a job, in which case not having to work sucks.
There is that.
Yeah. But no, work has been okay itself. I had a little chat with one of the kind of training managers type peoples on Friday.
Yep.
And then went back and told my system team leader, who basically pretty much told me to ignore some of the things he said. So,
This was this guy is useless and isn't hitting his quality, whereas your manager said, well, I've been listening to all his calls because I'm next to you, and yeah, that's bullshit.
It wasn't quite not hitting the quality, but it was like, wasn't the presentation style expected? And she was like, yeah, ignore that. I was like, okay, so mixed messages then. Yay! It's all good fun though. We do like it. But yeah, work has been fun. I enjoy work still.
Awesome.
So they haven't managed to beat that out of me yet. No matter how often they try, it shall not happen.
They will try.
Oh yeah, but no, it's all groovy. But other than that, yeah, work has been okay, and so that just leaves me with nothing but the home life, which has been remarkably hedgyless.
Yes, because Hedgie's conning it.
Hedgie is at Confuzzled at the moment, so yeah, we won't see him again till I think Wednesday is when he gets back, or Wednesday evening.
Yeah, I think it's long.
Yeah,
long
he's
stay.
like early arrival, late leave on, so he gets a couple of extra days at the con place. So yeah, I won't see him until Wednesday when he gets back.
Yep.
When I get back from work. Yeah, so on Thursday it was a quiet night. Friday was another quiet night, which was quite nice. On Thursday I was watching the local elections, watching UKIP take all of the seats but none of the councils,
Nope.
and just watching social media's reaction to this, which was making me laugh hysterically.
Though they did gain some European Parliament seats.
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
this
I'll
was
come on to
Sunday.
those.
And
That
I was
was on
suddenly
Sunday.
freaking the fuck out. I said, guys, look at their attendance records. Look at their voting records. You've got nothing to worry about in this case.
You will get to that, yeah.
Unless they get all of the seats, in which case the entire European Parliament grinds to a halt because nobody's doing fuck. I think that's their master plan.
As UKIP's nice plan, yeah.
Ah.
But other than that, yeah, it's been a nice quiet. And then on the weekend, Big Alex came down, we said
Yep.
hi. Pete came down, said hi. And then Fearless and Drew Luxon came down, and we said hi. Then we got drunk, played games.
Didn't
We
record.
drank. We played Bomberman. He
Did-
made his ancestors proud.
Didn't record too well.
Yeah, the game
like
audio.
Fearless.
The game audio came out fine. The vocals, not so.
And then we did some Sunday Minecrafting, and we kind of figured out why, because apparently volumes weren't properly done.
Yeah, volume. The game volume was way too high to compare to the mic volume, so the mics got well and truly drowned out by the game noise.
We were very quiet.
We were, but on the plus side, I did manage to get rid of some of the hiss.
Yeah, I don't know what you were just randomly pushing buttons, and the hiss went.
I was randomly pressing volumes and things, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's a much better sound quality.
Yeah,
How did I get that then? How can I recreate this? How can I keep this sound quality?
no idea now.
So, yeah, I'm not going to argue with that. I'll have that, thank you very much. The word I'm looking for here is yoink. And yeah, so some Minecrafting happened. We're getting quite far with Minecraft. I say quite far. We've gone off and explored again.
Yes.
We made a new friend, which is always nice. So now all I've got to try and do is keep his stuff safe from Pete, who will no doubt raid it.
I'm not going to raid it. I mean, we've got a
Yet.
shed ton still left to do,
Yep.
and our exploration that we're still doing, and we're still finding more random crap that is like, oh, let's go down this corridor, let's go down this corridor, let's turn around into this lava.
Yeah, his whole plan of let's go do some exploring because, we haven't got enough cobblestone to finish everything. So I thought we were going to go for a cobblestone farming experiment. Actually then turned into just a random explore across the plains to try and beef a map out.
And we found some horses.
And we found horses. So many horses.
Now we just need to get the horses back to base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to find some more spawny things so we get saddles.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you can make leather saddles.
No, not yet.
They can only be found in chests and shit.
But that does bring us back up to Monday, aside from the European elections, which came on. And I suppose we could witter on a little bit about that, because,
Well, I said I ended up waiting for the Scottish and London results, because they were the ones outstanding. But then fell asleep before they got announced, because they didn't get announced until stupidly late.
Yeah, because they were being retarded about the London ones completely.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, well, fuck yeah. And I was in bed watching it on my phone. My old phone, not my new phone. My old phone, which is it kind of stays in bed with me as my alarm clock. And I kind of was watching it, and then I'd fell asleep, and by the time I woke up, the battery had run out. So, because it doesn't charge too happily, the cable has to be in just the right spot for it to charge properly.
But to be honest, it's one of those things when you're watching it that some of the results are what the fuck type of results, especially when they're announcing the votes in certain areas. Because it's like, oh yes, 300,000, 300,000, 700,000, and you sit there and go,
Okay.
especially in comparison to the local councils.
Yeah. Nah, UKIP were always going to win the European ones. That was a cert. Because people are just pissed off with politics, but they don't want to vote UKIP locally because that's too dangerous. That shit can fuck up.
Well, the assumption is still that UKIP is like the BNP party. UKIP is, not the party to get into politics, despite the fact that Fabergé is doing his damnedest to actually get people in and go, right, now we're going to train you to be a politician.
You mean Farage?
That's the one. Because that's pretty much what he's all been saying. It's a case of, right, we'll get bums on seats and then we'll start worrying about making sure they can do the job.
Unless you're a woman, in which case we will hound you the fuck out of our party.
Except for the women that were winning seats.
Yes, he had a lot of women winning seats. He had a lot of minority ethnic groups winning seats. And everyone's going, but they're racist! He's an Indian!
Well, no, they pretty much go, yeah, we love Pakistan. It's just those filthy Muslims with their Moslemic ray guns.
But anyway.
I think what made me laugh though was that the Lib Dems getting absolutely destroyed.
Oh, they got dipped.
They had they ended up with
eaten.
one seat the Lib Dems got, which was hilarious. Because I was watching social media and everyone was basically going, oh yeah, you got to vote Greens or vote Lib Dem, because they're the only people who'll be able to guide everything properly. And it's like, no. Seriously, no. When you're not 18 anymore and you've grown up a little bit, you'll realise just how useless the Lib Dems actually are. Need I say any more than university fees? And we'll just leave it at that. So yeah, it was quite satisfying to watch the party with no spine get absolutely destroyed. And then all the Green Party supporters are going, wow, we didn't get enough coverage. It's like, we should be labelled as a major party so we could get more coverage. It's like, yeah, well, when you become a major party, then yeah, you can get more coverage.
Yes.
This is why we had three-party politics for so long.
Actually,
because
after results came in, they were actually labelled in with the biggest parties.
Well, that's because they didn't have a choice. They're better than fucking Lib Dems did. So Lib Dems came fifth out of the three that normally happen. So it's like, yeah, okay, well, shit's changed a little bit now. So yeah, the Green Party have started to become a legitimate party now. So they're going to get more mentioning. It's just until now they hadn't, so they didn't. It's the same 5 years ago. But when UKIP wasn't really a party to contend with, so they didn't get much media coverage. And this time they have because they're a major player, so they got as much as the other three main parties.
Yeah, and actually came out and talked about shit that people wanted to talk about, which is why a lot of the parties are now going, ooh, crap. Maybe what UKIP was talking about was important. Aside from Ed Miliband, he's still smoking the fucking crack.
Yeah. But I think Labour are just... The thing is, I don't think most people voted for UKIP because they thought, oh yeah, we need to get the fuck out of Europe. They basically voted for UKIP as a way of saying, Lib Dems, Tories and Labour, We're pissed off with how you're pretending politics works.
UKIP aren't going to get out of Europe. They're too busy claiming as much expenses as they can from the European Parliament to actually change anything in there.
No more or less than anyone else.
Yeah, this is
More than anyone else, seeing as they have the lowest attendance records in the entire group. Look, the lowest attendance.
And?
Which means they don't bother to show up and still claim full expenses. Which means, yeah, a bit more than everybody else there, TK.
Only if you
Then
have a
look at-
ratio of wage to job, you know.
Then take a look at our own parliament.
And it's like, yeah, at least when people like that aren't showing up and still having their full wage, they're not then using that full wage to, I don't know, build moats for ducks and things like that.
Or 2 Jaguars, 3 houses.
Yeah.
Dodging council tax. Oh! John Prescott.
All the things that major politicians are doing in the 3 main parties. And so I
Yeah.
think people are just pissed off at that.
Gotta like how the goalposts suddenly moved there, haven't you?
Oh, who's buzzing?
Goalpost?
Whoever's buzzing, stop it.
What goalpost?
It's like, oh,
I
these
put my
guys don't
foot
claim
down
more
and-
expenses than anybody else. Yes, they do. Oh, but not quite as much as all these other guys in a completely separate arena.
Oh, you're talking about
I like-
politics.
oh.
Yeah. Don't worry, fall asleep.
Yeah.
They take their full wage. That's it. The same
Well.
as everyone else takes their full wage.
Yeah, they take their full wage for a job that they're not doing.
But
But-
they're still taking their full wage. But yeah, anyway.
We'll see how that turns out, because to be honest, they've now put themselves in that arena.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, Farage is actually going out and saying, right, now we're actually going to push forward. And to do that, he's going to have to start doing things.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to start getting the People Army, as he's calling it, to start
I hope not.
doing
I've
stuff.
actually read their policies.
Yeah, they're not going to win any. They're not going to win anything like on a national or local level. They're only going to do well in Europe. But then if you look at the trends, that's all they're ever going to do.
UKIP are the party that's like going, oh, all this privatisation of the NHS, it's bad, you've got to stop it, we're the only ones that can stop it. By the way, don't read our policies that actually show that we speed up the privatisation of the NHS by selling as much off as quickly as possible.
Yeah, they're also against HS2 as well. So I was like, yeah,
that's
no.
all. That's all over the shop, though. But that's politics, to be honest. In a nutshell, it's all over the show. Much as we are at the moment, because we need to start heading on to what we normally talk about.
Really? What's that? Because I thought we normally spent this time waffling about shit that we've done and stuff.
We've just done that. It's now past, so we need to move swiftly on into other gaming news.
Oh, very well.
Now it's time for the latest gossip from the Silicon Grid. This is the gaming news.
Why is that coming out so much more quietly than usual?
Because volumes.
It's on max. Grr. I don't know. Anyway, yes, gaming news, Pete.
Yeah,
Feed us.
it's been a weird period, because it's like I scrolled through the news and managed to get back to last week's very quickly.
Well, I've got a quick rundown of headline bits I could do.
Do a quick headline.
The first official adult content will be coming to the Oculus Rift from Sugar DVD.
Adult content, Oculus Rift.
Yeah,
3D
the first
porn.
specific adult content filmed for it. But again,
Oh,
the
yeah.
adult industry are usually the guys that do embrace the biggest home cinema shit.
Yeah, porn is the
biggest.
forefront of technology.
We
The
want
Wolf
those
Among Us
close-ups.
release date has finally been confirmed.
The
For
what?
tomorrow!
Oh, Watch Dogs.
No.
Oh.
Wolf Among Us.
Wolf
Oh,
Among
Wolf
Us.
Among Us, sorry.
Yeah.
Didn't hear you.
Yep. The new Steam beta client has actually got an easy virtual reality mode checkbox,
But
which means you will no longer have to go through and manually add the -VR command to a lot of the games.
not that I'm too fussed about that, to be honest.
Star Citizen has reached the $44 million goal.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
What? What?
$44 million for this game that's not yet actually out.
What?
Nope.
Star what?
Star Citizen. It's the one where they demonstrated the starfighting.
We don't want
mining.
people with lesser rigs to play our awesome game.
Is this the one they showed?
They're the guys that made Elite making this.
Yeah, it's the one they showed where they crashed the thing into asteroids and
Oh, and
Yeah.
on the planet, and then he fly off from the planet.
yeah, all of those stuff. Yes,
Yeah,
44 million.
thus far.
People are still
like
buying.
it. It's actually a
Nice idea.
the whole space simulation genre is something that people still really want.
Yeah, but we don't have a good one of it.
The last good one was Freelancer, really.
And that was debatable.
So, in my opinion, the last best space simulation game was Artemis. That was proper space simulation. That and Kerbal Space Program.
You know how hard it is to actually build an aerodynamic Millennium Falcon in that?
What, in Kerbal Space? Yes.
It took me a month.
It's fucking hard to make anything that'll work properly in Kerbal.
Meanwhile, Nvidia have jumped on the cloud gaming bandwagon, except they can't call it the cloud. It's called the Nvidia Grid.
Well, that's not too bad, and it's quite a good thing because Nvidia have been partnering up with a bunch of people for their other hardware tech.
They really have a huge streaming hard-on at the moment.
Which is good because we don't have that much in terms of streaming stuff.
Yeah, because for the most part, you can only do it with certain games.
Hmm. And also certain rigs. Yeah.
And also certain rigs, yeah.
Yeah.
But they've put forward the beta for their free grid service, but only in North America.
No surprise.
Meanwhile, the Dota 2 tournament has got over 6 million in the prize draw.
Yeah, I saw that. That was quite impressive.
And last year was only 2.8 million.
Well, it's kind of been a resurgence for the MOBAs again. Because I think partly because of the opening up of markets, getting more people involved, and also because we're seeing more and more internet connectivity as well. So you're also with with people wanting to have the streaming on their new consoles and the old consoles and everything else. It's like, what do you watch?
What's the case about the reason it's gotten so big as well is because everybody who's bought the Dota 2 compendium or has upgraded to the compendium, a full quarter of that money goes into the prize pot, with a little bit more going directly to sponsored players.
Although there is a good chunk that you get if you buy the compendium, but even though I'm retrying to do the bloody tutorials for Dota 2, I don't think I'm going to spend money on it.
This is where esports becoming a bigger thing over here. Alex doesn't like that so much.
I don't like the whole esports scene thing. I'm sure I've discussed it before. How
Yes.
it basically
Yeah.
just corrupts the games and everything. And it
Into
turns
the
a
mic.
big... Can you not hear properly?
Not when you turn away from the
have
mic.
the microphone at a 90-degree angle to your face from there.
You're talking past the mic to start.
That
with.
whole grill should be up in your grill.
Ah,
There's a reason why it's called the grill.
Anyway, yeah. So, shut up.
Didn't I already position this?
Yes,
for
he
you?
did. He
You fucked
moved
up.
it.
I
He
didn't
moved
move it. You
it.
fucked up.
Microphones for Beginners, Volume 1.
But yes, no, it just corrupts
no,
the game and
he
everything.
has a
It turns it
point.
into this big whole spectacle of just flashiness and stuff.
And
And there's, it's
everybody remembers. I think I brought it up a little while ago, didn't I? The few years back with Marn and the
Yep.
whole Guilty Gear bracket.
Just, yeah. Nope.
No, basically he fixed an entire bracket, and that's the reason why Guilty Gear is no longer actually in most of the fighting game tournaments.
Oh, I see.
One dude. Then he also dressed up in drag so he could play the Street Fighter for women's champions.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
hilarious.
Then he went on to League of Legends for Team Marn, and then fucked everything up from there, stole a bunch of money, and he's now run off to Thailand.
In case anyone actually finds him and kicks the shit out of him. Yeah.
He dressed up in a sailor costume as well, with a drag thing.
Sailor Moon!
Yeah, so we just
But
for a bad cosplayer.
It's just it loses all spirit of actual. It turns it into just personalities and everything. Where there are personalities in the fighting game scene or other game scenes, but esports turns it into the main thing, and then the gameplay
The
just becomes
problem is
nothing.
with esports is that we're leapfrogging certain bits that catch up with each other, whereas if it, the rulings and everything else, the coverage and the players, if that all just sort of grew naturally at the same rate, but instead we're leapfrogging, where it's like, oh my god, this person is famous, and now because of that, this thing is famous, and now we have the coverage and the rules in place to deal with that later.
Yeah.
Thing is that's
Growing
not gonna.
pains.
It's not gonna happen in the same way as a normal sport. Because in a normal sport, you go out, you start getting your audiences, you start
But
getting
no,
your followings.
normal
you
sport does have quite a
sponsorship.
lot of the same problems.
But
There's a whole
you'll
period where there were
normally
loads
have-
of just personalities over everything else.
Yeah.
And then scandals came out, and loads of people lost loads of faith in things, and then new regulatory...
But with
commissions
a
put in.
normal sport, you don't immediately have this kind of coverage across a wide enough audience. Take, for example, cricket. That starts getting popular, local, national, world. You're
Yeah,
not
but that's
seeing
because
it
we also have
instantaneously spread
the
across in the
technology
world.
now.
Yeah.
We have the communications technology now that we didn't have back then. So
Yeah.
it's a whole new series of growing pains, so it could go either way.
Well, we'll see.
The
Anything
last
further?
thing for the headlining stuff is Shin Megami Tensei 4 is currently being localized for Europe, according to Stephen Bow, Director General at Nintendo France.
So, new game, which we need because there has been a slight dearth of games. Even though we've just had Wolfenstein, Watch Dogs is coming out soon.
Oh, sorry, and also oh,
What?
sorry. There's a public alpha on the PlayStation 4 for Bungie's Destiny, but then Bungie clarified the situation and said, actually, it's an alpha that's only available to employees.
So it's not a
What?
public alpha.
Hey, everybody, we're doing an alpha test. Woo! It'll be public. Woo! It's for employees only.
What?
So that's no different from what you should be doing in the office.
Yeah, it's basically
What
you're
happened to you,
doing
Bungie?
the your
You used to
play.
be cool.
They became an independent company? I don't know. Moving on, Oculus apparently stole years of ZeniMax R&D, claims the firm. So this is a catch-up on the announcement that ZeniMax is suing Oculus for patent infringement and all that other shit.
This is partially over their acquisition of a certain John Carmack.
Yeah,
Partially.
They're saying that the Oculus Rift headset was made possible through years of research and investment by ZeniMax. Then their official statement, in which it lays claims that Oculus misappropriated trade secrets related to virtual reality technology, infringed ZeniMax copyrights and trademarks, and breached its contract with the company.
The exact press release stated, filed suit against Oculus VR Incorporated and its founder, Palmer Luckey, for illegally misappropriating ZeniMax trade secrets relating to virtual reality technology and infringing ZeniMax copyrights and trademarks.
Yeah, so they're effectively pursuing all the measures under law, despite the fact that we've got everyone from Oculus Rift going, it's rubbish!
Well, essentially, they've accused Oculus VR Incorporated of using Carmack to poach valuable employees, stealing proprietary code related to their own VR projects, which they'd actually discontinued a couple of years prior.
Yeah.
And thus far, Oculus have said, look, you've accused us of claiming code. Where is it? Yeah, a key reason that John permanently left ZeniMax in 2013 was ZeniMax prevented John from working on VR and stopped investing in VR across the company.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they stopped then having the access and the rights and all of that.
Apparently, this was all because Oculus refused ZeniMax's demands for a non-dilutable equity stake in the company in return for Doom BFG Edition VR compatibility. But also it's a case of they're claiming, oh, you stole our code, and Oculus just said, it's an open SDK. Go online and point out where we've stolen anything. Go on, we're waiting.
Well, they're going to go through the courts to try and get as much as they can, and this is going to cause an issue with it because it will delay shit, which may or may not be a good thing because everyone else is jumping on the VR bandwagon.
Yes.
Everyone else.
They've had a couple of years, a year and a half, in which to start filing a claim.
Yeah, but the
They've
timing
only
is
done
now.
that now that they've suddenly had a huge influx of cash for their project.
Yeah, Facebook, and also the timing of everyone else's announcements for the VR headsets as well. So, suspect. Nintendo, continuing on with the lawsuit, wins a DS patent infringement lawsuit. And this is apparently overcoming a patent troll in the US and Japan, which is actually quite a good bit of news. In February of 2009, Texas-based non-practicing entity Wall Wireless, LLC, sued Nintendo over a patent pertaining to wireless communication technology, which was allegedly infringed on by the DS and the DSi. Half a decade later, because, we move quickly in law, the Japanese Patent Office and the United States Patent and Trademark Office have both ruled that Nintendo systems did not infringe Wall's patents. Nintendo of America's Vice President and Deputy General Counsel Richard Medway said, "We are very pleased to see the US case dismissed. We also have the Japanese Patent Office confirmed that Nintendo does not infringe Wall's Japanese patents. Nintendo vigorously defends patent lawsuits and other proceedings when we believe we have not infringed another party's patents," yada yada yada. And they also mentioned Dutch electronics company Philips suing Nintendo of America, claiming it is willfully selling products that infringe on 2 of its patents related to motion sensing controls and seeking damages. So that one will probably take another 5 years to come through.
Oh, at least.
I think it's daft that people are doing this kind of shit just to try and get money off these big companies, and the amount of aggro and hassle it causes. It's like, fuck's sake. Moving on, we have Disney talking about Star Wars games. Apparently, Attack Squadrons, their what looks to be X-Wing based
It was
one.
cancelled.
Yep, completely cancelled.
No, I've seen the gameplay. Trust me, this is a good thing. It is not the Rogue Squadron or X-Wing sequel everybody wanted it to be. Trust me.
Well, it was in development in Seattle. Area 52 Games was meant to allow 16-player dogfights, giving players the ability to customize iconic Star Wars ships, including TIE Fighter and X-Wing. The free-to-play game would also feature team-based and base defense type modes, as well as unlockable rewards. Attack Squadrons was being produced separately of the 10-year licensing deal between EA and Disney. So that's one game that's just died a death. But it does show that if it is that bad, that Disney are at least keeping on top of bad games this time.
Yeah, at least they're trying to can them before they get released.
Which is nice, considering the number of times we've had awful tie-in games.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo patent may outline Wii Music U.
Oh, God, really?
Yep, using gamepad to isolate ensemble performances. So this may be the successor to Wii Music, according to a US patent. The application was filed on April the 23rd, published on Thursday. Though the title reveals little about the actual purpose of the technology, Nintendo is attempting to patent the claims, background, and illustrations indicate a Wii Music-like setup which uses the gamepad display and speakers to let players take control of one musician in an ensemble. Yeah, so basically you think you've got piano guy, person with cymbals, guy on tom-toms, guitarist, and a recordist, and you have on your gamepad one of those particular people that you can then take control of, and you're doing the various sounds, and you're actually having the sounds of your particular person pump through the gamepad, whereas the TV is pumping everything else out.
A little bit like Rock Band.
Yeah, a little bit, only actually via the big clunky gamepad rather than a placky instrument.
Yay, because that's going to improve the experience.
Meanwhile, the T3 awards votings have just begun for 2014.
T3?
T3.
T3?
The biggest tech magazine, expo, etc.
Awesome.
Yes.
Never heard of it till now.
Really?
Really?
It's like T3.
It's like in the shops and shit.
Yeah.
Like in the shops and
You
shit.
can buy it. It's a glossy magazine thing.
It is
Remember Reading Pete? It's that
it
thing
is
you
one
used
of
to
the
do a long
biggest
time ago.
selling tech magazines out there.
Yeah, I probably have never bothered to even look at that.
They also have some of the biggest expos out there.
Again,
internationally, I mean, over here, the Gadget Show would probably be slightly bigger because it's
Moving on to the news, because clearly I don't know.
I was going to say, you can start voting over the next 50 days from awards.t3.com. And if you need further encouragement, all voters are entered the draw to win an Apple iPad Air, which if you don't like, you could still sell anyway. eBay cash. Peter Molyneux.
Who's he?
Oh,
Goddess needs to focus on mobile and then come back to PC.
Oh, for fuck's
What?
sake.
Yeah, during a in-house Molyneux, Peter Molyneux said in the latest 22 Cans developer diary that he's going to be spending a great deal of time with his iterative design idea, which he says has become the overall plan for Goddess, in which we're going to go back and do more mobile stuff, and then we'll come back to our PC gamers and see what we can do to fix the unholy mess we made of the game for them.
but Goddess is a pile of piss game that you've ported
It's
onto
already
PC.
a mobile thing.
This is the thing. It's a pile of piss mobile
That's
game.
okay. I've got a nice little Kickstarter project, which is what Goddess should have been, so it's okay.
A game not directed by Peter Monobolo.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And to think he used to make good games.
I
He
know,
did
it's
used
so
to. Happened.
shocking what's happened to him.
The drugs happened, clearly.
Yeah, I mean, for starters, at the moment, the leaf has to be manually collected by tapping on it. Construction takes an ungodly long amount of time.
Yeah, that's...
Would you like a new outdoors privy? That'll be 10 hours.
Fuck no!
Well, I am exaggerating ever so slightly.
Oh, good. But only ever so slightly.
Yeah. And then he had the balls, the testicular fortitude to say, I love the PC. The PC created me as a designer, and I'd live to give that original thought a living, breathing world which you can be proud of. But I need to get mobile out there because we always said that it was going to be a multi-platform experience.
I want to be a games journalist, because clearly not a reporter, because you don't report games news. And I want to go and interview him and go, so, do you realise that this game is a big steaming pile of shite?
Well, apparently very, very soon its completion is going to be going from 49.5 to 51%.
What are we on, a progress bar now? Are we
This is
downloading
Molyneux.
actual... Yeah.
Okay?
That is not an explanation or an excuse.
You know what? I'd much rather, from his previous announcement for this game, that what was in the box really would have been Gwen's head, because I'd have been less pissed off.
I want to go up to him and say, seriously, black and white HD. That's all I want. Fuck this new game, black and white HD. That's all. I'll buy that. I'll give you money now. Fuck off with Goddess.
TK, have you at least glanced at your things?
Yes, I have.
Yay!
Are you going to join in then?
I might do.
It's what I do for TK.
There was a little thing I saw a few days ago, though, that made me giggle.
Aye.
And it was about Soul Calibur Broken Destiny. Not Broken Destiny, Lost Sword, sorry.
Is that the PSP
No.
or the
No.
free...
The free-to-play PlayStation 3 game.
Yes, the one that's only...
Single player.
Yeah.
And I read an interview with the reasoning of why it's only single player.
Yep.
And the developer turned around and point blatantly said that the reason we're keeping it single player was because the game is a pay-to-win experience, and we figured that people would get upset if they weren't prepared to pay to win, and then ended up losing against people that were. He pretty much turned around and said that. He even used the words "pay to win,"
Which pretty much it is.
and you're sat there going, "Wait a second." Pay to win is supposed to be a derogatory term for games with they're free with millions of microtransactions. They're not supposed to be like a selling point. So he's either completely got the wrong end of the stick of what we think about these free-to-play games, or, as we suspect might be the case due to the terrible gameplay and massive loading times, that he's not entirely happy with the project himself, and it was maybe something that Project Salt were forced to make as part of the licensing deal with Namco, rather than something that they actually wanted to make.
Especially seeing as the character roster...
It's tiny, but due to be expanded.
Yeah, due to be expanded when?
Well, whenever they get around to it. It probably won't
Fuck.
be... I mean, it's diametrically the opposite to Tekken Revolution. Tekken Revolution was amazing, had half-decent netcode, and it was actually a good, fun, playable experience.
Yeah, it gave you characters you could play, and then went, just play, and you'll get some.
It's not surprising. I'm convinced that more and more of Soul Calibur's development budget has been going towards industrial espionage, attempting to steal DOA's Jiggle engine.
Slowly but surely.
It is slowly turning into Dead or Alive, really, isn't it?
It is, especially when you got characters like Ivy and Taki coming along.
Yeah, Ivy and Taki, or for starters, Taki's outfit could not work in real life unless it is literally just spray-painted latex from Ann Summers. Because it could not mould around her boobs like that.
To be honest, even latex won't move like that.
But even Ivy's tits have grown, almost doubled in size in every single sequel to the original.
I wouldn't say double in size, because then...
No, they are now 1.8 times the size of her head.
Yeah, 8.21 gigawatts of boobs.
Dear God. Moving on. Far Cry plot details allegedly leak. Now, there's been a lot of stuff about Far Cry 4, including the man in the pink velour suit. And
Captain Zap Brannigan?
it's practically,
real
look,
velour.
I mean,
Velour.
it looks like something from the 80s. I mean, it's not even Saints Row style suit. It's that, oh my God,
Well,
could you be more
the
camper?
Saints in space outfits were meant to be goofily retro.
But apparently, Far Cry 4 stars Kryat visitor Ajay Ghale, who becomes locked in a battle with its totalitarian dictator.
Totalitarian?
Yep, according to an alleged leak. The plot information reportedly comes via a detailed pre-order page that appeared on Ubisoft Web Store, although the page has since been reverted to the information revealing that the game's announcement last week, only single player, copied down the info from a cached version. So apparently, here we go. We got hidden in the majestic Himalayas lies Kirat, a country steeped in tradition and violence. Okay, you are Ajay Ghale, because we give you names you can pronounce. Travelling to Kyrat to fulfill your mother's dying wish. God knows what that's going to be. You find yourself caught up in a civil war to overthrow the oppressive regime of dictator Pagan Min. Explore and navigate this vast open world where danger and unpredictability...
Are you getting this from the Eurogamer link?
No, I'm getting this from CVG. Where danger and
you're
unpredictability...
Ajay Ghale travelling to Kyrat. And yeah, Pagan Min is the right name.
This is like, what the fuck? Here, every decision counts, every second is a story. Welcome to Kyrat. What the fuck?
Or it might be Kirat. Because Himalayas.
Welcome to Afghanistan. We've got more colours. There you go. There's a lot of crap about this Far Cry 4 stuff, and I will not be surprised if there's even more to come. TK, what's the ever-loving fuck? Watch on the camera. When you see it, there's probably a slight delay. Turn around.
No,
Turn
this
around.
camera has no delay
Okay.
for us.
Fuck.
Whoa, whoa, ow, ow, my ears!
My nose!
He almost ripped the headphones from my ears.
He concussed me.
Live on air. TK nearly killed 2 co-hosts.
And
Well, he's trying to cut down on expenses. So.
I found the cause of the wibbly noises.
The wibbly
TK
noise.
knocked this down, and now it's yanking my headphones. And
Yeah.
because of that, the
Yeah.
tension is making everything else
Yeah,
go.
it
Blah,
does
blah,
that.
blah, blah, blah.
Don't worry, TK's coming back now.
Oh God, no!
League of Legends, lastly, from Elite League of Legends European Championship coming to Wembley Arena. So I know there's been a lot of bitching about the esports, but we're now seeing dangerous movements. Everyone moves away now.
Good evening, Wembley! Are you ready for Bunny Earash?
Oh, God.
No.
So the championship series will be
TK.
coming to Wembley Stadium.
Before you go, could I steal this
June the
autograph?
21st, the European LCS will be travelling
Is it?
from Cologne to London, where week 5 of the summer split will be held
Alex,
until June 22nd. The LCS, or League of Legends Championship Series, has
League
grown...
of Legends.
Legends,
Everybody
yeah.
is wearing fancy tights.
They are. Has grown extensively over the last few years, Riot says on its website. The Season 3 World Championship, held at the Staples Center in LA, sold out roughly 13,000 tickets in just 1 hour. Over 32 million fans watched the broadcast online, with more than 8.5 million fans watching simultaneously at its peak.
Aye.
Yeah.
I don't personally like League of Legends, but I can appreciate the growth and the enthusiasm.
It's gone big, and it's good that it's going big, because it's another MOBA that's doing well on a model that works.
I'm actually looking forward to seeing how well the Dead Island MOBA goes, because as much as I was taking the piss out of it when it was announced last summer, now that it's been released into its alpha state, it's actually unique compared to all of the other ones. In a good way.
Well, the fact that you're up against other people, but the zombies fuck things
Yeah,
over.
you can be up against other people and a more aggressive mob in the arena. Or you can be forced to band together / betray somebody else. Or
I
just-
don't know if that would fall into competitive MOBA. It certainly would be a different MOBA. As in
if you head
terms
over to
of
Steam in a little while, look at the trailer and
I can
what some
do
of the
that
people have
now.
been saying.
in terms of competitive, I do mean in actual like proper team v team competitive style MOBA.
I
'cause
could see some good teams coming up for that.
possibly we'll have to keep an eye on that. But then it's good that these MOBAs, because let's be honest, the DC stuff, everybody in the MOBA community seems to hate that. The DC Online one.
Infinite Crisis.
Yeah.
because it's bad.
What, DC Universe?
Yeah,
No.
the DC MOBA.
Again, I stopped playing. Oh no, there's DC MOBA now. Oh god.
Yeah, DC MOBA Infinite Crisis. The DC Online, I've tried twice to play that, and it's a case of I
We've
stopped.
gone through my experience. The loneliest MMO I've ever played.
What else is there? Oh yeah, there's the World of Warcraft one, which apparently takes away all of the MOBA elements, such as having to deal with minions, having to really worry about leveling up. You're a marine on a
shame,
horse with a
because
minigun.
Where was the birth of the MOBA?
Yeah.
Warcraft fucking
Warcraft.
3.
And they took all those elements out and basically gone, yeah, you can run around as these champions on horses because that makes sense, and you can be all from all over across our games because that makes sense.
And we haven't got anything else to announce because there hasn't been another Jack Black Panda movie yet.
But given time, the World of Warcraft
No,
movie's coming.
The first ever pet was announced was the baby panda, right after Kung Fu Panda came out.
And then Pandora, yeah, Mr. Pandora.
And then that came out right before Kung Fu Panda. So it was announced after Kung Fu Panda 2 was during its release.
Well, I am reckoning they're going to be more focused on Diablo because they've gone through Reaper of Ujifit. What's it? Something click, and they're gonna
Soul of
be
the Goose?
yeah, and they're gonna be probably working on the StarCraft stuff, and there's got to be at least another expansion for Diablo 3 to keep that relatively current. Otherwise, what else has Activision Blizzard got? Nothing. Oh yeah, Hearthstone. Oh yeah. But I think that's pretty much it for me.
The pay to win card game.
That's basically most card games. You buy the cards, you win.
Apparently, they're just not doing very well with Hearthstone, really. Unless people pump in a fuck ton of money.
Well, it's gone to tablet now, so it might do better on. It might do better.
Well, the
because of
tablet
that.
is where everybody is expecting microtransactions and aren't quite as pissed off about it because conditioning.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a mobile.
Whenever you ring a
saga.
bell, they start salivating.
If
It's,
only.
it's a Pavlov reference.
Yeah, I know, but to be honest, if only. Anyway, have you got anything to finish with in terms of gaming news?
Although this is from Contact Music, who their stance on things is hilariously in touch with the RAAA and PAA and stuff. Watch Dogs,
Words,
half
letters.
of the torrents out there do in fact have a Bitcoin miner. Watch Dogs releases tomorrow.
Yeah.
For the last week, there have been torrents available. However, quite a few people have found out that the game is not running anywhere near as well as it should. What they found, one guy found out was,
There's a bug in it.
there is a little bug. You'll find a file running in your system processes called winLoginExe.
Mm.
Close enough to winLogonExe that you probably won't notice it. That winlogin.exe activates another file in the same folder that it installs to, which is a Bitcoin miner and will steal between 25 to 70% of your CPU during idle.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is an abject lessons, folks. Stop torrenting games. Unless you're called Felis. In which case, stop torrenting games.
Do you know how many games have actually been paid for? I mean, I had Fallout New Vegas for Ultimate Edition for all of 3 months before I finally got around to buying it, when I finally had the money free.
Yes.
Skyrim, I will be purchasing soon.
How much of that have you played, anyway?
What of
Skyrim.
Skyrim? I haven't gone through any of the DLC quests apart from Dawnguard, and I've started off some of the Hearthstone stuff.
And how many Bitcoins have you mined in the background?
Aha! None. I am very careful with this
You
shit.
are funding Ugandan warlords.
Well, somebody has to.
And don't
Really?
forget
I
people
thought that I
trafficking.
was funding terrorism and would destroy the Western medias as we know it. I made a pirate DVD of that piracy message straight off the Donnie Darko disc.
How could you?
There you go. To wrap up, then. To wrap up.
I got a quick bit about NeoGAF.
What I was
Go
about
on
to say as well, strangely enough, Ubisoft have put an embargo on all reviews until tomorrow.
Yep.
No
Because they
surprise.
don't want any bad publicity. Actually, do you know that there's been one review that has come out?
Okay.
Conan O'Brien's Clueless Gamer got
Oh,
the
yes.
first public look.
Yes. He actually published that, and there's
I
the
like
links.
Conan O'Brien's Clueless Gamer. It's fun.
Was that the same? Well, I think it was Conan that did
The stadium.
Yeah, playing
Yes.
PS3 and PS4 games on the stadium.
Yes, that is
Yeah.
the one.
Because fuck yeah, I want to do that. That'd be the best game in Tekken ever.
So, TK, you were saying about NeoGAF.
Yeah, NeoGAF will refuse entry into E3.
Ooh.
Apparently, because they're not important enough, or they.
Oh,
Yeah, the E3 have turned around and said that they aren't considered an active media outlet with ongoing coverage of the interactive entertainment industry. Yeah, they said this about NeoGAF. Bit of a gaff on E3, though, I think.
Well, is NeoGAF actually a media outlet or an actual journalistic outlet?
Well, I'll let you go to their website and you can
Fetus
figure
is.
it out for yourself.
Yeah, I haven't been to NeoGAF for a while.
In the meantime, Larry Herb decided to try and rectify the situation.
Oh, they've changed
He's
since
the
I've been
director of programming at Xbox Live,
Yeah.
and he offered them a place at the show as Microsoft guests.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was a nice gesture. He said, basically, I'll get you invited to the Microsoft press briefing and I'll set you up to attend the E3 Expo as a guest of Microsoft. There'll
nice.
be no strings attached and no expectations of coverage, just to be fair.
Yeah.
And it was a nice gesture, you know, and it'd be
Yeah.
kind of cool. But the guys at NeoGAF refused. They said, we appreciate the offer, Larry, but we feel like it would be running contrary to our neutrality principles to fly in under the Microsoft banner, though.
Yeah, that's,
Even though
that's
no
not fair.
strings attached. Yeah, but,
No, that's fair. That's fair. To be honest, if the same thing went to a lot of other publications, if this shit ever happened to them,
Yeah.
you'll probably see them say it because one, they're not allowed, maybe, or two, it's because you don't want to align yourself with one.
It looks like
console even
NeoGAF
favours.
has changed a bit since I last checked in. They used to have articles and a forum separate. Now the entire thing is a
Forum.
filled with enthusiast press and gamers.
Yeah. So it's not actually a journalist
It's
site.
still about
it's-
the biggest collection of gamers and people writing about games that you can find
Yeah,
in
but
one
it's not
place.
a journalist site. This is the thing. It's not like CBG, Shack News. It's not the big publications, One Up, all that stuff. It's literally a bunch of other people doing it. it would be kind of
Well,
equivalating
I think
to us.
Thomas Barnes was banned from there, so our journalistic integrity is good to me. He's the guy that was too bad for IGN, if I remember rightly.
That's a while ago. But anyway, anything then to wrap up because we need to finish the gaming
Speaking of
news.
CVG, they're shutting down.
I know.
What?
Computer Video and Games magazine is actually shutting down. Online shutting down because Future Publishing are looking at their portfolio again, and they've decided that that's it for them. They're no longer going to continue on with CVG. A magazine that had editors and people from like Games Master and all that other shit as well.
It's been going since 1981, and now they're finally closing it.
Yeah. Massive loss. Massive loss, in my
I
opinion.
can finish off with quickly. Anybody know that Newegg.com has been battling against a patent lawsuit for the last 4 years?
Nope.
Well, they've won.
Okay.
Essentially a shell company called Site Update Solutions.
Right.
A subsidiary of a rather infamous company called Acacia Research Corporation.
You say these words as if this would make us any
They're
more
basically the
wiser.
biggest source of patent trolling in America.
Okay.
And probably the world. Basically, they decided to sue Newegg along with 36 other companies, claiming they're infringing on the patented technology related to the registration of websites on search engines.
Okay.
Yeah. Of
Okay.
course, for the last 4 years, them and the 36 Newegg and the 36 other companies banded together, shared legal costs, and fought it. And yeah, they finally won after they managed to get the rulings moved out of Texas and into somewhere that does not side almost 100% of the time with the plaintiff.
Dear God.
And now they are the only one of those 36 companies who are looking to get the recover their legal fees.
Oh, okay.
Basically, the other companies sit there and go, it's going to cost us more money to prove that they
Yeah.
acted in bad faith knowingly. And Newegg sit there and go, no, you just fuck with the biggest cheap computer supplier in America.
Have
We
fun
got
with
guns, we're sticking to them.
that. Dear God. So that's it then for the gaming news. I think we need to then wrap up the gaming news with looking towards E3.
Talking
which
point.
isn't too far away.
It's in 2 weeks' time.
2 weeks' time.
Yay!
So
On
what are our,
Monday, I believe.
Yeah, what are our E3 predictions for 2 weeks away from now? What are we looking to? What do we think, honestly, off the top of our heads, we're going to see at E3?
We're going to see
We're going to see Ed Boon announce something.
Yes.
We're going to see a fuck ton of recently acquired Microsoft IPs being turned into the Microsoft Originals for their program.
We're going to see Wii U, or Nintendo rather, announce a whole load of new Wii U titles, as they've been acquired in the past year.
It's either that or we'll just get
But that
the
won't be at
current
E3,
head.
No, that'll be on the digital.
That'll be on
digital-
the pre-release
the-
Wii U thing.
the-
E3.
Nintendo
Direct.
Nintendo
the
Direct.
direct release will just be 40 minutes of the chairman sobbing.
And
Which
please,
still would
please
be-
buy Smash Brothers.
And it
Yeah.
wouldn't be as surreal as last year's, at least, so that's okay.
Do you think we're going to see any VR headsets? Because there's been a lot of talk about VR headsets. Do you think they're going to be on stage?
No.
I'm not sure very many of them are going to be ready to be on
No,
stage.
the technology
Um,
for the VR headsets, both Sony's and Oculus,
Well, Oculus have now got the Development Kit 2 released.
but they're still not ready.
They're still not ready, but
Not for consumers.
I think if Sony does show off
surprised.
Morpheus, it'll be the same tech demo they took to CES.
yeah. Whereas Oculus will have to show off the new stuff they put into the Development Kit 2.
Do you think we'll see any new tech at E3 from either Microsoft or Sony?
No.
No.
It's too early for that.
Way,
Sony might
way too
unveil they might announce the
Well, they might have
Western
more-
release of the little Vita kit thing.
They also might have more PlayStation Now announcements.
Yes,
might
because
do.
that beta's been extended.
They
and they're
and
slowly
improved.
reducing loading times, yeah.
By
there will
30%.
probably be some of your standard first-party IPs announced. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to assume
Well, again-
Uncharted for PlayStation. They're going to announce that.
Microsoft's been buying up loads of properties left, right, and centre with the intentions of using them as fodder for the Microsoft Originals Xbox One, Xbox 360 TV channel. So State of Decay is rumoured to be one of them,
Oh.
which is why they've recently bought it to make the next game their Class 4 project title Xbox only.
Well, do you think we're going to see? Do you
It's
think we're
okay
going to have a lot
because-
of exclusives at E3?
We're going to see a lot of wars between people buying things. I mean, Microsoft buy State of Decay. Sony go, fuck, we're gonna buy Z1H1.
It's not so much exclusives now as it is buying people who are like more indie, who have created games for PC to make their game for a PlayStation or.
Do you think they'll buy the indies though? Because Sony had made a big deal of having indies as indies on stage. Do you think that they would take the next step of then going, right, we're going to buy you as a studio? Especially with things like Child of Light having come out, with some of the other indies that have come out.
The best thing they could do is pump money into these studios.
Yes.
Get exclusives off them, but not actually buy them wholesale as studios, because that's just a slow death for the indie scene in general.
And look at Sony Studio Liverpool. I mean, they used to be Psygnosis long time ago, and now look at them. They're shut.
Yeah.
Because games like Wipeout, well,
yeah,
they're apparently too niche.
Commercially accessible.
Yeah.
I just want to make an owl joke.
We won't see a lot of indies for Xbox simply because
The Microsoft certification process is absurdly long and nobody wants anything to do with it.
Yep, and because of the whole the rules regarding having a release of an indie game. You can't release an indie game on any other platform and on Xbox One unless you release it at the same time for every console.
About the only thing they've done to make it more welcoming for indies was scrapping the absurd patching fees.
Yeah, but there are still so many problems with Xbox's approach
It's
to
a shame
indie
because
gamers.
originally they were meant to be the champions of the indie scene. The Xbox Live Arcade was brimming with awesome shit, and then
What
kind of went
games
quiet.
do you think you're going to see? Because I'm fairly confident on Halo. What games do you think?
We're probably going to see the first actual gameplay bits from
Uncharted?
Batman,
Destiny? Oh,
Dark
Batman.
Knight. No,
They
Batman Arkham Knight. There
They,
we go.
they will announce Uncharted 4 and show off stuff because they've been working on it and they've been like basically saying, "Oh, this person." I mean, if we look at all of the levels from Naughty Dog, we know that Uncharted 4 is in the works.
Uncharted 4, set pieces of the ancients.
Any games from TK, do you reckon?
Well, everyone's either going to announce a new Mortal Kombat or a new Injustice or something completely original. Hopefully, and something I'd really like to see after watching some videos of it, I'd like to see an HD re-release of The Grid, because that hasn't come out on home consoles yet.
No.
And so, porting that from the arcade from many, many moons ago, because that looked like an awesome concept of a game. And now it needs to become a home console thing, because we can download and it would be epic.
I don't think they'd have a countdown just for that.
No.
He is having a countdown for something, though. And there has been quite a lot of talk about The Grid.
Will we get the Fallout 4 release?
No.
Oh.
Do you think we're going to see more entertainment media announcements in terms of streaming services and entertainment services from both the big?
Not if they're
Well,
smart.
between everything that's happened now, essentially, Microsoft, the Xbox One and the PS4 are more or less equal, apart from the directions they're taking their stuff. The
Yeah.
PlayStation 4 wants to be more about independent developers, more gaming stuff. The Xbox wants to be
Your multimedia.
Well,
quite
you
a lot of
say
games, but
that,
they also want to
you
have more
say that,
multimedia stuff.
They are also Sony talking about things like combined deals with Sony Entertainment, combined deals with having TV. At the moment, both of them are pitching roughly the same message anyway.
Yeah.
So the question is, do you think that we'll see them pitching their entertainment side of things at E3?
Again, Microsoft have got the Microsoft Originals program that's been touted for quite a while. They want to get more stuff, and we got the Halo series that's done for it,
Yep.
which Forward Unto Dawn was basically a giant flagship for.
And
And
proved
that
it
was
worked. Proved it
excellent.
worked.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's reword the question slightly. How long do you think they're going to talk
Oh,
about this?
bugger.
I reckon Microsoft's probably going to spend about...
Objectively or subjectively?
Objectively,
their
I would
active
say
segment
if we still had Don Matrick, it would probably be a good half hour to 45-minute segment.
Yeah.
Now,
think
I
it's
don't
gonna be
know.
about
Because
20,
Bulmer's
25
is
minutes.
still kind of iffy.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good 25 minutes on the Microsoft side and maybe about 10 to 15 on the Sony
I
side.
don't know about 10 to 15 because I think they're going to want to try and push it, especially if they have anything to back the Powers series. They want to get on that. They want to get on that shit.
As long as Microsoft actually realizes that they actually have some solid shit going on the last year and don't rely on stupid stage show gimmicks like they have done the last 2-3 years.
Hey, it's like the Sonic
should-
kids.
Yeah. They should actually do really well at E3 and cut down
there
some
we
of the
go.
waffle time.
Predictions on who the announcers are going to be. Are we going to see engineers again?
Oh, I hope so. I hope so. I love it when the engineers come out and play because they don't
So-
want to be there.
I'm shitting a brick.
Who wants to guess what the biggest controversy will be?
Oh fuck! It can't be an announcement about a partnership with AT&T because they've done that.
Oh, the biggest upset would be Sony and Microsoft team up on cross-platform play on X game. That would cause the industry to shit a brick.
I reckon there's going to be some sort of announcement from Microsoft about one of their policies they're completely switching around again, which will not necessarily piss people off, but make them question Microsoft.
I know.
Integrity
The
again.
biggest
Yeah.
controversy will be if they get John Gabe Hawkins on stage, just give him a microphone by himself for 12 minutes.
Or what about if...
I'm sorry, that was mean. He is trying harder now. I'll give him that much.
Slowly but surely. How about if Ubisoft get Mr. Caffeine back?
Oh, God.
Well, that's the question. Are we going to see...
Much evil
guest-
laughter ensues.
Are we going to see the guest announcers again on
Ubisoft,
EA and Ubisoft? Because they're the ones who actually seem to make an effort now for a more entertaining presentation, whereas both Sony and Microsoft have gone, here's our PowerPoint slides, here's some games,
Yeah.
yada, yada, yada.
Here's
now.
Don Matrick or the other guy.
Yeah.
Oh, for the Microsoft.
Here's a press briefing.
And here's Andrew House and a couple of other guys. And Kaz Hirai is making a cameo somewhere. Because you remember his name and you still love him.
Even though he's currently shitting a brick because he's running Sony.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
running
wait.
the whole fucking thing.
I don't know. Do you think we'll see some Mass Effect? Do you think we'll see any Mass Effect?
No, because
but-
apparently they overestimated exactly how much they'd gotten complete. Whilst before they said, yeah, we've actually got the engine, the basic engine finished, and all we've got to do is just start doing stuff, and we're starting to do motion capture for the cutscenes. Apparently they were fudging a bit on exactly how much completion they had going, so we're not likely to see anything of Mass Effect.
Okay.
Oh, and
But-
Minecraft on another format.
God knows what else.
Oh, by the way,
Oh, Alex has got a however.
you first.
we will be seeing some Dragon Age Inquisitioners from...
Oh, hell
EA.
yes.
Yeah, we will see some proper gameplay. Seeing
Actually,
as
we're all
of-
talking about Nintendo, and they've actually released the plans of everything they're doing online last month. So,
Well, that's a bit boring.
Yeah, they've been trying to get
the
interest in it.
Nintendo digital event.
Nintendo want to stay away from E3 for some reason. I don't know why.
Apparently, there'll be showcase live and unscripted demos of all upcoming Nintendo projects. The Treehouse demos. Also hosting the first Super Smash Bros. Invitational tournament, in which 16 veteran Smash Bros. Players will
Yeah.
compete and be streamed online. Doopy-doopy-doo.
It feels like, to be honest, that Nintendo are staying away from E3 because it's like they're failing at it or something. I don't know.
They have been. They've also spent huge amounts of money. What do you think the drop the mic moments are going to be from any of the big conferences?
There isn't. I don't honestly think there's going to be a drop in the mic moment this year. There is. It doesn't seem like there feels.
Board Games come in, critique everybody's stuff, show off Cosmic Star Heroine, drop the mic, walk off stage.
TK,
No.
what do you think? Any drop the mic moments?
I don't think there's going to be any unless Sony announce a price cut for the PS4 to basically go, hey, look,
How
Microsoft's
about
just done
a
one.
real price cut on the Visa cards?
You're smoking crack,
no.
boy.
Yes,
That can
they
happen.
will probably talk about because last year they done Vita price drop. They might talk about.
The
Memory
cards
card.
were meant to get a price drop, and they have dropped by about £4 across the board.
Whoopee!
Dear God.
But they are going to be discontinuing, talking about discontinuing the 1001 Vita model
Yeah.
as of this year.
And do you think we're going to see this generation love as well as next generation, or do you think it's all going to be next
Yeah,
generation?
because this generation is still got a
Couple years left.
4 times the install base at the moment.
Yeah, it's a
5
massive
times. So next gen stuff will get a look in, but there'll still be a lot of old gen stuff because there's still just so many people playing it.
I reckon there's going to be a lot more talk from the Sony side of connectivity between PS4 and Vita as well. They're
That'd
going
be
to go.
nice.
They're going to go. Look at all these games that now have some form of cross-play Vita support. From maybe like when we talk about off air earlier about app support, where we can have the apps affect the gameplay. It may be something along those lines where a player with the Vita can come along and fuck shit up in your game because why not?
Oh.
Oh, look, Alex is playing Watch Dogs. Let's fuck him over. Oh, he's playing it again. Let's fuck him over.
Oh look, TK's playing Minecraft.
Creeper.
Push, 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 push.
All of the creepers.
All of the creeper spawns.
I'm actually liking the cross save and cross buy on the Sony's version of Minecraft because that'll be out in August.
Yes.
I'm getting that for my Vita.
Really?
Yes.
I'm not.
So that's it then for the predictions. We'll probably have some more talk about that next week because it's getting closer. But we need to move on
Stick it in the
to...
channel's talking point.
Yeah.
Stick it in Facebook.
We will be moving on now to our done and dusted.
Very well. He just wants me to press buttons, that's all it is.
Very well.
Oh, hush.
It's that time where the cast of TigerTails Radio review stuff badly. This is Done and Dusted.
And so it comes to that time of the show where we talk about things that we've read, watched, viewed, played, eaten, or otherwise digested in some form or another, and then badly talk about them for your listening pleasure. I've got something I've got a fair feeling Pete might want to share in this, mightn't you? With Street Fighter Assassin's Fist.
Yep.
Because fuck yeah, that was worth talking about. Felix, anything from you?
I might talk a little bit more about State of Decay.
Ooh.
That would be nice.
And do all of the Kickstarter things. There's a couple
yes.
of new ones.
And we need to give the results of some that have previously passed.
You just want to go,
Alex.
Yes, I do.
Alex.
I really don't want to do a movie again, so I suppose I could talk about what Dark Souls 2, I guess.
Dark Souls 2.
Yeah, I haven't really been playing anything on the console, so yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so should we start
you
then
could
with...
sit down and do a review of every season of Adventure Time.
No.
So, I think me and TK will start then with the Street Fighter's Assassin's Fist then, shall we?
Because fuck yeah, Assassin's Fist.
So this was in, what, development for 2-3 years?
Hold up. Speaking out if anybody wants a drink.
Yes, please.
You did not speak, Alex. Very well. Oh, you want a cold?
Yes.
Oh,
dear
that's easy for
God.
me. Okay, who wants a hot and cold drink?
Oh, cold, please.
Hot and cold. How
Yes.
do you do that in one glass?
It'll be a confusing thing.
It's either get me a drink or open a goddamn window. Fuck.
A goddamn window fuck. What's wrong with
Goddamn
that?
window fuck.
Hey, that's my nickname in college. Oh my god, the last Copperberg!
What else is in there?
There's
I think there's the last
one more Tiger beer
tiger.
Oh, I'll have the tiger,
and
please.
one more Guinness.
There's Guinness or tiger?
I'll have the tiger, please.
I'll have the Guinness then.
Alright, so I'll be making myself a cup of tea.
Well, that,
That sorts everyone else out.
Yeah.
Alright, hang on. Do, 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 do.
That was the best moment of history is that I opened the fridge just to find some Coke.
This is why I'm glad I'm not driving now. So yeah, Street Fighter Assassin's Fist. This was like 2 or 3 years in development, wasn't it? Thank you, Teeks.
My pleasure.
2 or 3 years in development,
For
wasn't
fuck's sake. I can't take a straight face with this damn camera, it's useless. Yeah, it's been about 2 years in development now. I think the Kickstarter happened in 2010, I believe.
it? And it started all on one little rundown show, wasn't it? Well, not rundown show. There was a little mini thing they did, wasn't there?
Oh, no, sorry. 2010 was Street Fighter Legacy, which was then basically going, "Oh, yeah, let's see if we can... It's a kind of a proof of concept, really, of
Yeah.
anything. It's like, we want to do the Street Fighter 2 tournament film properly, not like the one with Raul Julia in it. So, here's what we can do. Let's see if people like it.
Yes,
People liked it.
a lot.
But they looked back at their Street Fighter 2 film and realised it was going to require more budget and time and
Just a bit.
than they did. Than they had, sorry. So they thought, okay, well, we've also wanted to do the kind of the prelude to that, to the Street
Yeah.
Fighter Alpha series. So let's go and script something around there.
Yeah, because there's the main story, which everyone considers the main story, which is Ryu, which involves Ken, which involves his teacher and his history.
Yep. So that's what they went away and did. And they put a thing up on Kickstarter a couple of years ago, basically saying, we want to make this thing. It's called Street Fighter Assassin's Fist. And we're basically going to tell Ryu and Ken origin story.
And they failed.
They didn't fail, they were failing.
Yeah.
But halfway through the Kickstarter, it suddenly disappeared offline. As they had found an independent backer who was willing to throw money at them and not
An
take...
independent backer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who were willing to throw money at them and not try and take any kind of control over the project.
They did, however, keep everyone informed about this with fairly regular updates. They had
Yep.
clips and little bits.
Yep.
They showed their workout regime, and whereupon it was a case of, yes, you've got the muscles, just lose the hair, for the love of God.
Yeah, and lots of like video updates and things as well, and Q&A sessions over video.
Yep.
And so they kept the information forthcoming and free, and it was very cool. And then a few weeks ago, the kind of teaser trailer started to hit.
Yeah.
And we were getting hype, and it was fun. And then the other trailers hit, and we were getting even more hype.
Yeah.
And then on Friday, the series hit.
Not the first
Wait,
episode.
if TK was any more hyped, he would have been the Halo 3 release.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It's like I was following this and going, oh, by the way, TK, it's this date. This date? Fuck yeah.
I was like, I want it, 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 I want it. I've got it! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! Binge watch.
The entire series, one day.
Yeah, in one sitting. I was actually supposed to be doing stuff, and I thought I'll just watch one episode and then carry on, watch another episode and carry on. And then 2.5 hours later, after watching the entire thing, I was like,
Yep.
I was supposed to be doing stuff.
Yep. So the long and short of it is, it's set in Japan.
In the late 1980s.
Yep. And you're seeing the training of Ken and Ryu as they are with Goatsy.
Goatsy. No, not Goatsy. That's something else entirely. Not Goatsy.
Goken. Gohan.
Huh?
Goku.
Huh?
The teacher.
Yes, Goken.
Fucking all the G's. And it just shows this little storyline and kind of like cycle of history that seems to be part of the martial arts that they follow. But it's all based in this very idyllic little area with the dojos. I don't know if any of it was actually shot inside. I think some of it might have been. But lovely scenery, actual fight scenes between the two lead characters and other sundry cast.
But not just that, but it kind of goes not just the training story of Ryu and Ken, but it also delves into the history between like Akuma's backstory, or Goki is his name, and Goken's like brotherhood with their teacher Gogetsu and things like that. It's all rather shiny, and it stays reasonably true to the original Street Fighter canon.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what was different. That's the
Well,
one
there's a couple
thing.
of things that were different that I noticed. For instance, the time, and spoilers if you haven't seen Assassin's Fist yet, but
Go out and
I'm not
watch
going to
it.
call this a major spoiler, but we saw in Assassin's Fist how Ryu got the red headband from Ken, which is different to how it happens in the game, because in the games it happens during, I think it's during the endings of Street Fighter Alpha 2. And basically, Ryu loses to fight against Ken, but Ken realises that Ryu wasn't giving it all because he was still really cut up about the time when he attacked Sagat and scarred him for life with the Dark Hado.
Yeah, the uppercut of Awesome,
Yeah, because that wasn't a thing Ryu was entirely in control of.
which wasn't actually part of what really kind of went on in Street Fighter 1, because Street Fighter 1 was slightly retconned.
Street Fighter 1's
Well,
back on a
you
lot.
know why Ryu turned all evil, right?
Mummy issues?
No, just suppressed rage every single time somebody mispronounced his kicky attack as Tex-Mex pooping.
At least it wasn't fucking Chun-Li spinning bird shit.
Spinning bird, look at my pants! But no, the things that they've done in Assassin's Fist, though, I would be very happy if Capcom turned around and says, that's the new canon.
Yeah.
Fuck whatever happened in the games and previously. That's the new canon.
It's a very solid story. It actually puts the relationship between Ryu and Ken in very much good contrast, because you see they are rivals, but they are friends.
Best friends.
Best of friends.
The bromance is stronger
The
this
best.
And you have the suggestion of more from this series by the time you end the fucking series.
one. Yeah. Pete was like, no! You can't end there! Fuck you! Fuck you to hell!
It's a lovely little story, and it is one that I would quite happily say, yeah, put that at the beginning of a game, play the game, and then have another series. That I'll have.
Yeah, that would be the best unskippable cutscene. It's only 2.5 hours long, it's fine.
Hideo Kojima, do that cutscene.
No, don't, because at least the guys at Assassin's Fist did it properly.
True.
And you could tell it was definitely made by the fans for the fans, because not only did it closely follow the canon, but recognisable moves from the games were inserted into the film.
Very.
In fact, the actors themselves were genetically modified to only move at 5 frames.
No.
There was lots of little things that I recognised. There were lots of little things I think I should have recognised, like Ken's dad and the fighting sequence. That was made to be a big deal, the boxing training thing.
Looking through the Street Fighter things there, Ken's dad doesn't appear to have much of an importance, apart from the fact that he owns the company that Ken's due to inherit. Other than that, kind of an irrelevant character. So they kind of picked up his dad's relationship a little bit, but it does then explore why Ken feels and thinks the way he does.
Yeah.
And the daddy issues, effectively, are a good kind of anchor for his backstory and background, which I thought was a kind of a nice thing to put in there.
And the military base that suggested maybe some in conflict with stuff, and
Yeah.
this random name that appears on the wall in the dojo. The fucker.
Yeah, Dan.
Oh,
gets
I
a
just
mention.
realised something. Earlier on, I made a joke about the Penny Arcade, bit of a douche guy, and I called the wrong guy the douche. I'm sorry. I meant to say Mike Crowlick.
My bad. Never mind.
Retraction ever. It's okay. They don't listen to this. It's fine.
But you were saying that this is also going to be repackaged for like TV episodes and TV made for
From what
TV
I've been
stuff.
reading, there's 12 online episodes plus a kind of a 2-minute kind of prologue thing. It's all going to get cut down into 6 half-hour episodes for TV syndication. Then a 105-minute TV movie is going to be made, and then finally, the original cut of the film is going to be released as the complete uncut 2.5-hour or 2-hour plus version on DVD and Blu-ray.
Which will probably have a lot of the features like the training, the programs, the history.
Oh yeah, hopefully there's a fuck ton of special features.
And if that does come out this way, I will probably buy it.
And if we're even really lucky, and if we ask people nicely, maybe even things like that will get a very limited theatrical release at places like
Arbalates?
Yeah, because they showed the Tekken CG film,
Oh dear God.
the Tekken Bloodline Rebellion film. I can't
Yeah.
remember the name of.
I'm a cyborg, really. Let's go on a killing destruction spree.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
So if they can show that, then why can't they show Assassin's Fist?
Well, at least it'll be better than that one.
Because that would be fucking awesome. Because I wouldn't mind sitting in the cinema and watching that.
Oh yeah.
I'd be all up in that shit.
Just realised there's something else we were all completely geeked about for 5 minutes and forgot about that we should be seeing at E3.
What's
What's
that?
that?
Quantum Break.
Oh, the TV series with the game in it.
Yeah, the thing we don't know is a TV series or a game.
Oh, the Microsoft.
Yeah.
The thing they announced, and now nothing has been mentioned of it.
Yeah.
The thing I've completely lost all caring about.
Yeah.
But a bit more caring than
I'm sorry, I had a
Last
terrible-
Guardian.
Yeah. No, I can't go any higher.
You can. We just need to put a mic in your bollocks.
Sorry, is Last Guardian still a thing?
Apparently.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it.
We probably will. But anyway, in terms of...
it's going to be Last Guardian Forever.
in terms of...
It will have griffin boobs on the walls.
In terms of...
And it'll suck.
In terms of how we then review this,
Assassin's Fist.
I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this a lot, and I would probably watch it again. What about you, TK?
I fucking loved this. As someone who's enjoyed the web series of things like Mortal Kombat Legacy and other things like that, this is how you do Street Fighter in live action.
Oh, hell yeah.
Seriously. There were certain CG effects that you could tell were
But-
CG effects, but they really worked.
You
Oh,
still
yeah.
don't think there'd be just a small place if he was still alive for Raul Julia?
In the next film, yes, as M. Bison, because Raul
'Cause they
Julia's
are-
M. Bison was fucking amazing.
They are talking about going on the Shadaloo...
Well, yeah, that was
plotline.
the story they originally wanted to tell, but realised they didn't have the kind of budget or resources or experience to tell it in the way they wanted to
any
tell
way,
it,
shape or form.
to do it justice.
Yep.
So now that they've had the experience of Assassin's Fist and done really fucking well with that, they're now in a much better position to go after the Street Fighter II World Warriors storyline, which is what they are planning to do next, I believe.
Nice. And would you recommend this to our listeners? Because, quite frankly,
it's
I'd
free
say hell
on
yes.
Machinima on YouTube. You can watch the entire series in one go. If you haven't already seen it, as
Yes.
soon as this TigerTails radio episode ends,
Watch it.
go the fuck and see it.
It's only 2
Seriously.
hours. Don't worry, it's only your life.
You don't need to sleep. You don't
No.
need to go to work tomorrow. You need to watch this fucking thing.
So that was Assassin's Fist, Street Fighter Assassin's Fist. Alex,
Yes.
Charming.
you have been playing...
You have been selected for a random survey.
You have been playing I Want to Kick the Living Shit Out of You Repeatedly game.
Yes, I have.
Two.
Just move this around now. It's kind
No, but I think I lent on it and it got a bit lower. I'm sorry.
yes,
Dark
thank
Souls
you
2. So this
No,
is
no,
the
the main
actual
column.
sequel
Huh?
to Dark
The main
Souls, which is
column.
the spiritual sequel to Demon Souls.
Huh? Oh, right, that. Is it? No.
Yeah, sing out, you work, shaft.
Lower. Lower.
I'm falling for that.
Anyway.
One
Souls-
Copperberg, folks. One
It's
Copperberg.
very, very gassy for a freaking alcoholic drink. Needs to be more like whiskey or it's just smooth. Dark Souls 2. The game of dickery.
It
Yeah.
will kick your ass.
It will. It's the sequel to Dark Souls and spiritual successor
I
to
just thought you said it's a
Demon
game of
Souls.
dicks for a second there, and the accompanying mental image was horrifying.
Is Dark Souls 2 the one you can leave messages for other players and dick them over?
You can,
Yes.
you can do, yes. You can say, "Oh, look, jump down here," and then if you're stupid enough to not
Dark
look
Souls
before you
1
jump,
seeing a lot of ghosts of other players.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the same thing from Dark Souls.
It's a game where it's basically an action RPG with a heavily emphasis on the action part, whereas you don't need numbers
Well,
to
not so
beat
much
things.
action part. It's a strategic action RPG.
Yes, strategic action RPG, where you, like I said, you don't need numbers to beat things. Numbers help, but you can kill things with your bare fists just by skill.
And with your bare fists.
I don't have bare fists.
Sorry, I read that line far too many times in the second Doctor.
Anyway,
Unlike other RPGs of its genre, it relies on you having to learn enemy patterns and watch for openings in their attacks.
They're like a slightly more complicated version of a typical Robotnik boss in Sonic.
Yeah,
oh, yeah, pretty much.
basically every enemy is like that.
Yeah.
Except none of them take only 8 hits.
And none of them fly off afterwards
Well,
going,
you say
I'll get
that.
you next time, hedgehog.
In Dark Souls, you could counter and one-shot the enemies
Oh,
if you
no.
knew to counter them. right.
Not one shot, but you can parry enemies in this game, and it does, or riposte, or whatever you want to call it, and it does a lot of damage. But the timing is so, like, precise that if you miss it, you get just
Yeah,
hit
whereas
anyway.
it's easier just to build a character who can dodge a fuck of a lot.
Yeah, if you just play a character that dodges and then stabs from
Then
behind.
heavy weapons are pretty much not a thing. Really.
No, you can play heavy weapon
I
characters.
think Dark Souls 1 never just chose the rapier because it's the only way you could get enough hits in and still be light enough.
Depends on the characters, because I've seen people
Yeah.
take heavy weapon and just mow.
You just play a tank.
Or you
like,
just
with a
simply
heavy weapon.
hoard the golden potion and just use that on the bosses.
you could in theory play a character.
You okay there?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Dying.
Relies on miracles.
No,
we were
relies-
making jokes about basic miracles earlier,
Yeah,
weren't we?
basic miracles is terrible. Oh, it's
So your basic miracle only costs you about 3 Hail Marys. But if you want a great miracle,
that's going
that's
a
going
bit-
to cost you,
it's
Gov.
going far.
But yes, Dark Souls 2.
The game revolves around you being this thing called a hollowed, where it's essentially you're a zombie, but you've not yet died, but you're in the process of dying through a curse.
You're a magical slow death zombie.
So if you were to die, you start off with your humanity,
Mhm.
and if you die, you then lose your humanity and become an
It's
undead.
basically you join the Tea Party and vote for EA at the same time.
Damn.
Right, so you become the undead.
Yeah. To which at that point you get stat reductions, mainly being 5% HP each time you die.
How?
So you lose 5% of your max HP every time you die until you regain your humanity. Regaining
Ow.
humanity in this game is also a bitch because you have these things called human effigies, which not only help you regain your humanity, but they also have other uses which are just as important.
This is harsher than 1.
Yep.
Fuck.
The basic flask you're given, which regenerates your health, in previous games, in the past game, you had 3 to start off with. Now you only start off with 1 drink of it. You have to upgrade it through things you get from killing things.
Alex, you've got a challenge in channel.
A challenge.
Red K says, explain the lore of Dark Souls 2 to us in 10 words.
Ha! That's pretty much
That
it.
doesn't count as a word.
Fuck, how'd you explain that in 10 words?
Old times, big things, want to kick the shit out of you.
Pretty much.
Old world cure promised turns out to be lie.
It
He's there actually counting them. But,
9 words!
Yeah, there you go. But in terms of the actual gameplay from...
He's
Alright,
at
in
10.
less than 10 words.
He didn't say less than, he said in 10 words.
In 10 words, or less.
He didn't say all less. Ha
But in terms of the gameplay...
Dark Souls, wiki, extralife.com. Yeah, I got it. I got 7 so far.
In terms,
Fuck you.
in terms of the gameplay,
lore.
in terms of the gameplay, from what I've heard a lot of stories about, there's a lot of random things that do happen throughout the various plays, which seem to be deliberate dick you over moments.
I haven't had anything randomly come out and kill me because I didn't deserve it. The game so far, I don't know if what they're saying is true later on. I've beat the first boss now. It's only 4 hours. It's just irritating. He wasn't even that difficult when I beat him. I was so angry. I was just like, why is it working? It's simply because I had lost so many life that I was at 50% of health, my max health, which you can't take many hits. Especially because I wasn't playing a tanky character.
So it's like, squish!
Yeah, so if he managed to get a lucky hit and I was dead, and it's just like, oh, for God's sake. But no, nothing has come out and killed me. The only time I thought it's been unfair is where I've been fighting off against one thing, and two of his friends will stand by and watch.
Or again, like the giant, what looks like a Elder Scrolls Dwemer Centurion just came over and killed you, and then never joined in the fight whilst you were fighting the second one ever again when you came back.
Yep, they're dickery. There is some unfair. I don't know if I want to call it unfairness.
It's just fun watching Alex play it because he curses almost as much as he does when he's playing fighting games. It's like suddenly kills you. He's like, "You go to hell! You go to hell and you die!"
Stress relief.
And then he goes back and goes, "Well, I've already lost my stats. I don't give a fuck now."
He's like, I had my humanity. Now I don't have it. I don't care how many times I die. I'm gonna kill you. That's the one thing I don't like. I never feel like I can give my humanity back because I feel like I'm just gonna lose it. But all the fights I've had so far, the only one I thought that's been unfair is like when I fought one. His two friends sat by, watched. I was like, okay, I'll kill this guy. He was quite simple.
Yeah.
Then they both come at me at once, and I'm like, I can't take hits from both of you at the same time, or I'll die.
No, don't come at me, bro. Don't come at me, bro.
And then the weird thing is, you fight up for a little bit. I'm just avoiding them, and then one of them walks away and then watches. And then every so often, he'll come join in if you don't kill in time. It's like, fuck you.
Troll games, troll.
And then if you kill his friend, he then just stands there and watches and guards the other way.
Okay, you've killed my friend. I'm just going to stand here. Fuck you.
Oh, you're obviously too much for me. I'm going to back the fuck off.
So, have you enjoyed
Barry
playing
was
this?
a dick anyway. None of us liked him.
The the Souls games have been polarizing on opinion. So, are you someone who loves this kind of game?
It's enjoyable when you figure out how to kill an enemy, and then you go, yep, I've got it. Boom, killed you. I'm looking forward to the point where I'm strong enough. The Covenant I joined is all about, because you can join Covenants that basically...
Give you stuff.
It's basically like a religion or a guild, and they tell you what your basically your character sort of thing is.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm a defender of justice sort of thing. I joined one which defends weak people for now, until I can get access to the dragons one, where you basically put down a duel and you go, duel me, fight me,
And they go, fuck no.
So at the moment I'm waiting until I can get strong enough so that I can start invading other people's worlds and then killing them. That is the main objective of me playing this game. To fuck off people.
To fuck off your friends.
Not friends.
Oh, random people.
Random
Even better.
people.
Would you recommend the game to people, though?
If you like difficult games that can be solved through thinking and reflexes, yes, I'd recommend the game. If you don't like thinking and you're like the
If you
Dynasty...
don't like thinking.
If you don't like thinking and you like the Dynasty Warriors approach to action RPG sort of shit, don't buy the game.
The Zelda game is coming out, which apparently is that. So
the one where you mash square,
mash
triangle, a bit like a shit Devil May Cry.
I like the devil. I also like the devil.
Yeah,
I like the
Devil May Cry is
Dynasty
good.
Warriors because it is literally a case of hundreds of enemies, kill, because that's mindless violence.
Yeah, but have you ever played that game on a difficulty above normal?
Yes, I did a couple of times.
And then it takes 10 minutes to kill one enemy, and you're sat there going, "Oh my god, what monster?"
Devil May Cry here.
No, this is the Dynasty Warriors. The older Dynasty Warriors got stupid.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yes, you've now mown through like 3,000 guys. Now go to this gate, and this one dude with a fucking chakram ring that's probably his ball sack holder thingy is just gonna own you.
Yeah.
I just hated how it was difficult enough to kill the normal guys on hard.
I'm just saying I got owned by Fat Elvis.
Yeah.
And I wasn't playing God Hand and was therefore sad.
But the bosses, or the commanders, or whatever you want to call in Dynasty Warriors, on hard are just like a dicks.
Yeah.
And you only get all the good items on hard.
Yeah. It's why
Fuck
I kinda-
Lu Bu.
It was,
It's why I. Any,
I'm Lu Bu! I should fight you! I'm running.
Alex, any game of Dynasty Warriors when I've had to face him on any difficulty level, bye.
It's just as
That's my first reaction.
just as frustrating in the Dynasty Warriors Gundam series.
It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But seriously, Lubu.
Oh no,
hi,
but this
I'm
one,
the
you have
undefeatable warrior.
lava levels as well as missiles to deal with all this shit.
What fun!
Burning ships. Fuck Lubu.
The Gundam one was actually fun though, but yeah. Anyway.
So yeah, so you would
Yeah,
recommend
Dex.
it if you like difficult games.
Yes.
Excellent. So that's Dark Souls 2. We now have Felis, having finished his drink, who will now tell us
what?
about State of Decay before he goes into Kick Felis.
bastard. Ah,
You're going to drown one of these days. It's all right.
But
He's
it's
already
gonna
spilt,
it will only make me
he's
stronger.
already spilt drink down him.
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have.
Where?
Prior to now.
Oh, you mean in some obscure previous days?
No, as in you opened a bottle and just spilt it down yourself
When?
whilst you were here today. Anyway,
Did I?
State of Decay. Yes.
I don't remember this because the only bottle
State
open
of
was for
Decay.
Alex, and that was on the
State
table.
of Decay. State of Decay.
What?
Did I spill your cider down myself?
No.
No.
State of Decay.
Is apparently your memory.
Well, he is getting old.
I know, but anyway, game review.
So we have a third-person open-world zombie survivor stealth sandbox game. That was a lot to get out in one go.
Story of my life.
Have you tried fiber?
Yeah, it helped to go a lot faster.
Basically, this is the Microsoft Studios published, developed by Undead Labs game that came out on the 360 last year. About Christmas time, the PC version got released, and it's only just been patched up to the point where I felt I could finally play it. So I convinced somebody else to buy it for me.
Easiest
As
way to
you
do it.
do. Yeah.
As you do. Well, it's only 20 quid, including DLC.
Steam sale?
Not bad. No. Basic.
Ooh.
It's not a AAA title.
I see.
Very much like, say, DayZ. Zombie apocalypse has happened. You're a survivor. You're running around trying to get the resources and weapons and stuff you need to survive. Unlike DayZ, this is actually a single-player offline experience
Ew.
in which you do find a group of survivors. You will put up a watchtower, try to barricade the walls, try to establish little outposts and booby trap them so the zombies can't come closer.
Plan.
Avoid zombie hordes. Fuck up your car on zombies.
That
Because
sounds like a
sometimes you
stupid idea.
forget to swerve to the side and just open the door of the car to use as a weapon. No,
Isn't-
there's a dedicated button. Just go open car door, brace, smack a load of zombies. This is the same stuff as I was talking about earlier as well. One thing I've noticed, they have offline persistent world is one of the things they tout for it.
Oh, I've heard of that on some things.
It's essentially very much like any online persistent world, except it tallies how long you've been away, what could/should have happened during that time. So you can come back to find the entire enclave in a state of, I can see you not doing things. Stop that.
Who's he talking about?
I'm talking about them.
Keep talking.
It's hard when I'm talking to people, I'm looking right at them, and then they all just...
This is great.
Go.
Our audience is in that little camera there. You've basically been talking to us and ignoring the entire audience.
Yeah, you loo.
I don't think they could all fit in that camera.
Oh, they could, trust me.
It's
It's easy how you can fit zero into a camera.
Oh.
I'm sorry to all of our loyal listener.
Well, actually, there's 6 people viewing at the moment.
It
so-
is kind of fun. It's not so much Romero zombies, although
Yeah.
there are mods for that, but it is the current zombie thing of they can't see for shit, but their hearing is fucking awesome. So anything you do that makes noise, get into
Left
a car,
4 Dead
run.
and some of the PS games. Of
Oh no,
zombies, yeah.
you will actually see on your minimap how much noise you're making and if it will aggro a zombie. However, because they can't see for shit, you can just quickly hide in a bush.
So you can Assassin's Creed them.
Not quite, although there are stealth takedowns on zombies, which I find hilarious and awesome at the same time.
I'm going to kill you quietly. Oh shit, you're a zombie.
But you can, if you open a door too loudly, zombies. If you look for shit too loudly, zombies. Accidentally fall down some stairs, more zombies will be attracted.
Yeah, that sounds like the same concept.
Which is why I
in
always
Project Zomboid.
barricading windows also makes up much noise, because it's a fucking hammer and nails.
Yeah, strange that.
But it's a case of, oh, there's a house there. There's zombies inside or not, I don't know. Should I go in through the door and risk it being locked, or should I smash a window for slightly less noise than smashing down a door? At the same time, people will need things. People can die if you leave things long enough. the story quest. As far as I know, the story it's not open sandbox unless you reload the game from the last level, or you get the sandbox mode, which is a progressively harder series of levels. But all the resources are finite, so if you, excuse me, tarry for too long, you'll find yourself running out of medicine, running out of food, running out of...
Yeah, the typical
all the supplies you
survival tropes.
And
of
you
it,
can grow
yeah.
your own food, but you might not have enough to sustain everybody that you have at the Enclave.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. But so far, it's actually been fun. Apart from that one time I got cornered in a very small house by what they called the Big Bastard. Also called the Big 'Un, also called the bloody big fucking zombie, or the Juggernaut.
Okay.
Or the John Prescott.
What can I say? He just wanted his...
Although there is one person in your Enclave who has a pretty nasty infection. We finally found the one last person in the world with lupus. No, really, one of the main characters has lupus. It's a plot point where she sends you out to go, we need antibiotics for your friend. But at the same time, I'm getting my medicines for my lupus.
Really?
Yep.
So, have you enjoyed playing this?
Yeah, because there are some story moments that are actually quite fun. You've got your radio operator, Lily, the lupus girl. She's a Marvel superhero!
It's Lily the Lupus Girl! Find out her grand adventures in next week's comic.
As she finally faces against her most dreaded arch nemesis, Dr. House.
Autoimmune disease. Yeah, would you recommend this, though, to our listeners?
Yeah, because the storyline is also not so bad. And you got one case where you go out to find somebody, say, help, I'm trapped out on the barn, too many zombies, you save him. Turns out he was having a little tryst with one of the brothers of one of the hillbilly families that don't take kindly to fags or other white fancy folk around these parts.
Nice.
Yeah, random little moments like that.
Nice. And is it multiplayer as well?
There was going to be co-op, but no. The downside to it as well is that there's only a fixed slider for the graphic settings, despite it being part of the CryEngine. Ultra, even though our laptops more than meet the recommended things, it's not very stable with the Ultra settings, and you get way too much bloom on your characters.
Ooh.
So for most people for stability, you've got to turn it down to about medium.
Lovely. So, that was...
Yeah, some graphical issues, bugs like zombies just running through a locked door once in a while. Subterranean sofa zombie. It's just a zombie head on a sofa. And you're sat there waiting at it until finally it will pop up and you can beat the bucket down again. So there are bugs. They're not particularly game-breaking. Some of them are amusing, but... I've been sneaking around a lot in that game. Just going to a car, going, hog, hog. All zombies come out the houses, run you over. I didn't even like this pizza delivery car anyway.
But it contained delicious pizza.
So, that's it then for the Done and Dusted. We have had Street Fighter Assassin's Fist, we had Dark Souls 2, and State of Decay. Now we have Kick Fearless.
Fearless starter. Twisted Fearless starter.
Right,
Episode 10.
For TK's benefit, we will start off with the Amplitude Kickstarter, which
Huzzah!
was a surprise finish because they managed to get nearly 200,000 in about the last 12 hours.
Yep.
Yeah. Fuck how they did that.
Amazing.
I mean, last week when I mentioned it, I was pretty much giving up all hope.
I was
and
sat
you
there,
said, "Don't worry, it could turn around." I was like, "Yeah, right."
I was sat there going, don't worry, we will turn around. Then I came down on Saturday and went to TK. TK, they've got like 200 grand left to go, and I don't think they're going to make it. I'm sorry. And he's like, no, they're done. I was like, fucking hell, I only checked last night.
He was like, "Yeah, they finished."
So they managed to get 844,000 of their 775 goal.
Go them.
They did not reach their first stretch goal, which would have been the online head-to-head multiplayer.
However,
at least
they've said that they're not ruling out like a thing like a donation button or anything. So if you
Yeah.
still want to contribute,
hopefully we
weren't
will
able to
get an
do it
actual
through
track list
Kickstarter.
soon as well.
Yep, all the tracks are going to be in-house ones to save money on having to license music.
Yep.
And they do some pretty good music. I mean, not forgetting groups like Freeze Pop were made of Harmonix band members,
Yeah.
among others. So there's plenty of talented musicians within them, within the Harmonix studios.
Alex, would you like to introduce the next one?
Alex loves Kickstarter, though, doesn't he?
I assumed it was. I just want to make sure. Right? Go!
Has got 21,218 Canadian dollars of his 50,000 goal.
How long
I just had to be as monotone as possible after that. They're well on way to being there.
And I
You've
still
still got to
haven't
do it.
even donated.
You had the Kickstarter page up.
I told you. When it comes to doing things online,
He went full Homer Simpson looking at it. like it was a glazed donut.
I looked at the whole page, read everything, watched the videos, and then went away. Completely forgetting to donate.
Genius.
So I need to do that.
Shines by Unis
Chinese?
Interactive. Shines.
Chinese?
Chinese.
Chinese.
People.
Listen to a trailer. To Lera.
No, French. They are French company.
Leshines.
So what are we talking
Only.
about now?
This is the action RPG by the indie company that looks, again, being divided on this.
Just
The-
carry
the
on.
unique-
He'll chime
Cell
in.
shaded.
Yeah.
It's a shell shaded action
Cell shaded
game.
is not an art style in and of itself.
No, but it's a generic art style with cell shaded, which makes it look so generic. Whereas Felix believes that the art style is
No,
strong enough
I'm
to
saying that outside of the cell shading, the art style they've got is good
And
enough. The art cell shading
moving
is
on
just a
with the
part of
article.
that. They have $87,000 of the $10,000 they needed with 12 days to go, so that's well on its way to being a real game.
They're like a married couple, TK.
I know. I've just sent you another one, Felis.
You sent me one. Oh god, I've already got 3 more to go.
Well, we're only ending the show on this.
No pressure, I say.
Keep Beast's Fury going.
What?
Didn't they already have a Kickstarter for
Beast
this?
Fury is a 2D fighting game in development for PC, Mac, and Linux. With your support, it will eventually be released on consoles. We currently only have 2 animators working their spare time to finish the animation needed for 2 characters to complete a solid and polished demo of the game. At the current rate, this could take upwards of 9 months to a year to complete. If we're successfully funded, we can hire several new animators to the crew, and all animators will be able to dedicate full time to the project.
Oh, it's this one.
Yeah, basically, they had an Indiegogo for about 20 odd grand and successfully
Sorry.
managed to achieve that.
They
They-
obviously have mastered bolding, so why did they not use italics for emphasis?
I
Like
don't
they
know.
should have.
But yeah, they basically made a few mistakes, got screwed over by a couple of the animators on task and lost a programmer. And so the demo got quite set back. So they're having a second now on Kickstarter as opposed to Indiegogo, just trying to get the money up for the demo again, just so they can get something released. Because quite frankly, they'd like to continue making this, but at the moment it's taking them forever. So they'd like to get a few more people on board so they can
Oh.
get this done a bit quicker.
Alex, remember when I was saying that I couldn't remember what game that everybody's raving about was the other one that was made with the RPG Maker engine? Corpse Party.
Yeah.
It was made with RPG Maker. Now I remember.
Continuing on.
Other than that, they only require 45,000 Australian dollars. And they have 11,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, moving on.
Super Hot by Super Hot Team. Damn,
Right.
that caught on quick. It's that first-person shooter where time only moves when you do. It's a puzzle
Right.
shooter with a really unique art style. It's half.
I've seen that Q play this, it looks fucking
It
amazing.
is. It's one bullet will kill you, no matter what. But basically, if you're stood still, so is time. If you move, time moves. If you move quickly, time moves even quicker. So it is literally a graceful ballet of you weaving between bullets to try to find the solution to kill these guys before they kill you.
Ah.
And the alpha demo has been out for quite some time.
Yeah, you can go to their website and get the prototype.
You can, and it's been doing the rounds everywhere. Everybody thinks it's got a really nice art style to it. It's really hard to. It's Metal Gear Solid's VR missions if all the bad guys look like a high-res version of the Master Control program from Tron. Is that close enough, TK?
Yeah, I think that does make
Yeah.
just about does it
It's
justice.
hard to explain the art style to this.
It's unique.
It actually is.
You actually use a sword to hit bullets out of the air.
If you can.
If you can.
Because I'm currently watching their.
Have I put it in
thing.
channel? Yes.
This
But
looks so
they
weird.
require $100,000, of which they have nearly $200,000. So keep backing anyway, because more awesome shit will be added.
Well, it looks like at times slows until you continue moving, and then because it looks like they're still going to shoot even if you stand still.
According to the first sentence, where time moves only when you move, making each level a deadly puzzle.
Unity.
Next is Exogenesis, which I should have brought up last week. I might have brought it up last week. A post-apocalyptic adventure visual hybrid inspired by Ace Attorney and Zero Escape games.
Huh?
It's your kind of thing. Exogenesis. I'm trying to find the story bit, but I'm just getting to the rewards.
Oh wow! I've just looked at Superhot's page, and they've actually got a quote from Nerd Cubed on their recommendations.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Hang on, I've got to now click on Alex on the Facebook. Where the fuck are you? That's Alexander Kelly.
Right.
That's
Wrapping up then with this one.
hang on. So yeah, Exogenesis is a post-apocalyptic visual adventure novel. A little bit of Phoenix Wright, a little bit of other visual novels, and it actually does look really nice. Unfortunately, I can't actually find the plot synopsis in the middle of all of this, so they talked more about the features and the engine. Ah, there we go. Oh wait, it's very complicated. I don't want to do it right now.
Right, so
And
those
lastly, what I promised as the grand fuck you to Peter Molyneux, Universe Sim. Yes. Crowd-funded god game with a whole planet and universe. Click here to tweet about the Universe Sim, blah de blah de blah. Yeah, it's basically you'll start off with a planet where you'll start off with the Stone Age and steadily progress, moving on to intergalactic exploration and colonization.
Age.
Fearless.
Yeah.
You don't seem to have noticed that this was successfully funded 2 days ago.
This one. Oh, what, the other one.
Universe Sim.
Damn it. Well, still, get the news out there. Wait, I could have sworn there were 5 days left to go back on Friday.
Nope, 2 days. 2 days ago,
God
they reached
damn it.
387,000 of their 320,000 goal.
Well, Felix will provide the links for the show notes. So if you want to
think
find
I
out
have.
more about the Kickstarters that have been discussed, you can find all the details on tigertailsradio.co.uk or tigertails.co.uk, along with all the links to our other affiliated sites, including Tiger Tails Gaming, Done and Dusted, and those other associated studios we partner with. If you're interested in any of our Minecraft shenanigans, we will be streaming live. That will be at 3 p.m. on Sundays.
On
And-
twitch.tv/TigerTails TV.
Tiger Tails TV, and there will be regular updates from all of our other stuff as we continue on through the year. We will be
Don't forget
10.
don't forget to follow Tiger Tails Radio on Facebook and Tiger Tails Entertainment on Facebook.
Yes, and we will be 10 in only a few short weeks.
I know. What the fuck?
So we will have a celebratory show, so there will be drink, and I'll be crashing on the following Tuesday.
Yay!
Yay.
Oh, I've booked those days off work because I'm
But
smart.
will we have been body trained?
But you've booked E3 off.
No.
No, not E3.
What are you
E3.
talking? What you've booked off?
It's Tiger Tails Radio is 10 on the 20th.
21st.
Oh, on the
Alex.
20th.
Yeah, the show is on the Monday. I can only book the Tuesday off, so I'll be down here on the Monday. So I'm doing a lot of training that weekend.
Yeah, he's real. That's
For
probably my train.
E3, are we going to be coming around here for it, or
When
should
is
we just
E3?
get drunk at our place?
Beginning of
I
June.
Watch.
Don't know. I might. You can come to my friends actually because we have an E3 party there usually.
Nice.
You know Reapon, the guy who helped me move in.
Yes.
Reapon's cool.
We'll talk off.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
It will be next week.
Simply
Sick.
because
What,
he
E3?
has.
Yeah, it will be next week, because next week is June.
Yeah.
It will literally be next week.
No, it's not next week. I know it's not next week because next week I'm not in the country.
Okay,
Let's
so
see
it
if
might
we
not
can
be
get
next
some
week.
It's on the 9th.
E3,
It's on the 9th.
2014.
Oh.
10th of June, actually.
On the 10th.
June
Tuesday.
10th to 12th, 2014.
Oh,
So
it's
Saturday.
10th to 12th. Oh, okay. Yeah.
It actually goes Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Oh, that's
Oh.
perfect.
Does it?
Yeah.
see
More
if I can book
stuff.
it Monday
Apparently, just a couple of hours ago, Nintendo said that they'll be promising a new Zelda game at E3 this year.
Oh, whoopee, another one.
Hyrule Warrior.
God, really?
Yeah, that's kind of the Zelda one I was talking about.
You can collect rupees to upgrade your weapon.
Yeah.
Let the pot smashing begin. You got a thing.
Oh dear God! So we need to wrap up then the show because it's gone 10 o'clock.
It's okay, we started late, so...
I know we started late, we're finishing late, and this is TigerTails Radio, episode 10, season 8. We get better with seasoning.
Apparently.
We will be back Monday between 8 and 10. We are
think we have
available
too much
Sunday
salt.
3 till 5. We are also our various other projects. We will be seeing a reading of Bad Fanfic Theatre soon.
Yes, Felix, when is the recurrence of
Really,
Bad
really?
Fanfic Theatre?
Really soon.
Good. not making you put a date out or anything.
Why does this microphone windshield taste kind of funky?
Hedgy.
Funky.
That's what I'm saying. Hedgy. So we need to wrap up.
So, on that note, then, it's a good night from the Felix.
We've broken him. Felix. Hedgy in his long johns. Yeah.
Vengeance will be mine.
No, it won't. And Alex.
It's a good night from the Angel Duck Song.
Goodbye.
It's a good night from the Xavier.
Good night, all.
And it's a good night for myself, TK. Thank you very much for listening to this week's episode of TigerTails Radio. We'll be back next week at about 8 o'clock UK time for another indelible episode of this shenanigan bullshit.
Shenanigans.
Now I'll be smoking outside with the door open.
No,
Nobody will mind.
You'll be sleeping under your bed with the blankets with the door locked.
I have a
Hedgy.
divan. Not even I'm that thin.
Have fun with that. But until then, it is night, everybody.
Hedgy's coming for you.
Night.
Good night.